All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your boy, Unpopular Black Gamer, once again coming with another review of Star Trek, the original series, where we are doing a rewatch of the original series from when we were just young boys back in the day, getting to understand what the hell Star Trek was, to now being full-fledged adults and rewatching some of the episodes and realizing like some of these episodes are crazy. But I would be remiss to say I'm here with my boy, of course, Patrick. Patrick, say hello, sir.
Hey, happy to be here. We're starting late,
We
but we're
are
happy to be
starting late.
here.
We are starting late on Sunday, but uh,
Okay, I don't want to be that guy bringing something up, but my live stream on YouTube is acting a little weird. I don't know. That means something bad's about to happen to our episode, or
I mean, as long as it's recording, we should be
let me
good.
see.
Let me double check on my end here. Uh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I heard you.
I think we're all good. At
Yeah, I
least
know
for
I'm messing up the intro, but we have a lost episode, so I just wanted to call it. What it is that the time bar at the bottom is jumping back and forth, and I'm like, what is that? What does that mean? I've never seen that do that on someone's live stream.
got you. You know, computer glitches.
Okay, well, if you're good with taking the chance, I'm good.
Hey, as long as it shows up, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have any issues. Famous last words. But
I
anywho,
know, right? Maybe I'll drop in a chat just to see just to let YouTube know that like this needs to stick.
and I
I'll
know
be
I
the
did.
first one to chat ever.
I know I did my intro a little bit differently this time around. Um, I'm not exactly in the best of moods. Says how my team sucks. Um, for all y'all that don't really pay attention to who is my NFL team, I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, and we had a terrible loss to the Atlanta Falcons on Thursday. So I'm a little jaded, just a little jaded.
This is a team that is still in the playoffs. Just so that
See,
everyone in the chat still knows.
and here's the crazy thing is that like you're not the only one that said this to me. My barber has said this to me. Like some of my other friends have said this to me. It's just like, look, I understand what you are saying. I do, I truly do. However, I know how my team is, and I know that even if we get into the playoffs, we're not going to make a run because there have been times where I was just like, "Oh, my team is the most glued that it's ever been since such and such," and then we just get bounced in the first round or the second round. So it's just like I don't have high hopes for my team right now anymore.
I get it, but I'm also we've had this conversation offline so many times. He knows what I'm about to say.
I do,
Just Bill Parcells, just get in the tournament and see what happens.
man.
If you
Bill
can get to the tournament,
Parcells.
just see what happens.
Had to bleep my own self there. Bleep Bill
Hey,
Parcells. When's the last
he's
time
he's
he
won
won
his main
anything?
he's won his main Super Bowls as your organization.
But when was that?
The '90s, back when he was in his prime.
Exactly, it was different in the '90s.
Wait, you don't think there were teams that didn't believe in themselves and barely made the playoffs back in the '90s?
Name one. You know what? No, that different podcast. Different podcast. We're not gonna go into that. We're not gonna go into that. Different podcast.
About to say, I'm like, I definitely think I can find a team from
I'm,
the
I'm
'90s that barely made the playoffs,
I'm sure you
and
could, and then we'll go down a rabbit hole, and it's just like, hold on, I thought y'all were talking about Star Trek. What the hell?
well, that's where you messed up. We talk about whatever we want on this podcast.
All right, so we watched episode 4 of the original series, where no man has gone before. From what we have learned, this was supposed to be the original second pilot, right?
Yes, this is the second pilot. Oh, do you want me to look that up now? Like how it became the second pilot?
Oh, go ahead while you're doing that. So this was supposed to be the original second pilot. Of course, the first pilot was with Pike as the captain, and then the episode that originally became the actual first pilot, which is, I mean, as we're watching this, it's episode two. Um, if not watching it in order, so it's I. There are some things about this episode that you're just like, huh. And then there are other
Yes.
things that you're just like, oh, this is actually peak Star Trek.
Yeah, so you got The Cage, which was the first pilot that was filmed
Mm-hmm.
by Desilu Productions because you don't have Star Trek if you don't have I Love Lucy. So
Yeah,
Lucille Ball, Desi Arnaz. So they did a pilot.
I loved I Love Lucy. By the
CBS,
way, I used to watch that a lot back in the day.
right? Oh, not CBS, NBC. If Gemini is
Yes,
correct,
NBC.
hope the AI is not hallucinating, which is interesting because it's a CBS thing now because it's on Paramount. But whatever. And isn't Paramount and Netflix and HBO, Warner Brothers, aren't they all having a time right now? I don't
Yeah, because
understand what's happening.
Netflix is about to own Warner Brothers, which is interesting. I thought Netflix didn't have any
Yeah,
money.
but now Paramount is making a hostile takeover bid because apparently Paramount is good with the White House, which is disturbing that they own Star Trek and they're good with the White House.
Hilarious.
But also, like, they're in with Skydance. So the only reason why I don't understand is not because I don't understand business. I just have to get all the facts and then maybe I can sort this out. But I'm just like, I'm a little bit lost on what's happening now
Well,
in
when you
Hollywood.
see anything about a hostile takeover, those are always going to be weird and convoluted because of the things that they have to do in order to like skirt the shareholders and get the full amount that they
Yeah.
to
Well,
get the
remember, I was
amount the
a
51% of
yeah.
shares
Well,
that they
remember,
need. Uh-huh.
I was a securities attorney, so I know like the regulations. I haven't done a hostile takeover because they're pretty rare. Um, but like I get functionally what
Mm-hmm.
they're doing, but I'm trying to like I need to like take a step back and read some stuff to get like the business logic of like what exactly is going on here. Why Paramount wants Warner Brothers, and it's not even all of Warner Brothers because it's not the news division, which Warner Brothers hasn't figured out what it's going to do with this news division with CNN and all that stuff. Anywho, pigeonhole, right? Or not pigeonhole.
I mean, that's the convoluted crap when it comes to corporate America. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's my job to figure that stuff out. I don't work in entertainment right now, so I haven't had to. But
I'm
so
about to say,
from the
technically,
outside
that's
looking
not
in,
your job.
wait, how so?
Because you're not in that side of the corporate.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's not my industry. Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone brought this to me as a strategy person and was like, I need you to sort out what's going on here, I would have to sort it out. I'm not being paid to sort it out right now, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like everybody else. I'm just looking at it like, that looks like a mess. But I know I could sort it out if I had to. That's what I'm trying to say.
But since it's in your field, it is interesting. Kind of like everything that was going on with Silicon Bank, uh,
Right.
like almost a year ago. Like it was one of those things. It's just like, oh man, this is interesting to me because I'm in that industry.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So they did the cage, and according to Gemini, the feedback they got, it was
Mm-hmm.
too intellectual and too slow. So Lucille Ball of I Love Lucy, Lucille Ball, the greatest hero in Star Trek history, convinced the network to give Gene Roddenberry another chance, which led to recasting. So we got Captain Kirk out of this, and a more action-focused second attempt that actually got the series sold. So that's
So was
why,
this the episode that they showed to the
yes,
producers that made them want to do this,
yeah,
but
they
still
saw
wasn't the first episode that was aired?
exactly. They saw the cage and were like, nobody gonna want that. Then they shot this episode where no man has gone before, which is why all the uniforms are jacked up.
All the
In
uniforms
this,
are jacked. We're gonna talk about
absolutely
that.
no red shirt division. In this, your red shirt counts at zero.
I about to say I'm still
There's no
counting. By
red
the way,
shirts.
I'm still counting, and I did add from this episode too. So,
Right. We got where no man has gone before, and they were like, "Yep, we're gonna buy the series now." And then they got their budget and all that stuff, or whatever happens when a pilot gets approved to become a show back then. Then that's when they filmed the Man Trap and the Man. Well, I don't know if that's the very next one they filmed, but at some point they filmed the Man Trap, and that's the first episode aired.
I mean, it is kind of jarring to watch episode 2 and 3, and then get to 4, and like everything's different. Like you got the uniforms different. The only thing that's like standard is Kirk and Spock. The doctor's not there. The first time you see Montgomery Scott, this is the first time you see Sulu, but they wouldn't in episode 2 and 3. So it's like
Well, Sulu was in two
he was in
because
two.
remember that was a yeah because Yeoman ran after she got harassed by
Mm-hmm.
fellow criminals. She was delivering food to Sulu,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah,
Sulu
that's
didn't
right, that's
like
right. He
have a
he just
thing to
wasn't on the
do.
bridge.
Yeah, we don't know what his job is,
Yeah,
what his job was at that point.
but this was definitely the first time we see Montgomery Scott, right?
Yeah, 100%. Because I don't think he was in the cage or any of the other episodes. So he was in the second pilot, but then didn't make an appearance in an episode until the second pilot aired, which was after two episodes of the thing. And I don't know if he's in the next episode because I don't know what the next episode is. So,
So I got
so
a
when does
lot
he
to
show up in the
say.
red shirt?
Uh huh.
Yeah, when does he show up in his red shirt? You know,
That's what we're gonna find
like
out. Probably
yeah.
the next episode.
Well, I hope. I mean, do you think on the wild ride we've been in the first, what, 4 episodes of TOS, you can absolutely guarantee yourself that Scotty's going to be
Not at all. Not
in
at
the
least that.
next episode?
Not at least because I got a lot of things to say about this episode that I'm not sure exactly where I'm leaning. I don't know the exact rating that I want to give this. I'm leaning on one, but I'm just like, I feel like I need. So, our conversation today is going to fully get me to the rating that I feel that this episode should be. But the sad thing about it is I can't be too upset, or I can't feel like that this episode is like just awful because this was the episode that actually began Star Trek. Period.
Yeah, and what episode was it? I gave a boost to the Man Trap
It was the last episode that we
for.
just did. That you
No,
were
the last episode we just did was Charlie X. Your brain
Charlie
is just
X.
filtering that out, given how disturbing it was.
Well, I thought you changed your rating by the end of that.
No, I gave Charlie X the blood wine.
Oh, okay. I think I get that shot.
If I changed it, it was for the worse. I might change my rating because I'm coming in with a rating in mind that might change, most likely downward. for
That's
based,
where I'm looking at too. Like I feel like the discussion is gonna trend this more downward.
I the only point you've made so far is that this is the episode that officially gave us Star Trek, even though there's like 3 episodes that lay claim to that, right?
Yeah. Well, like if this episode was not created, then the powers that be that greenlit shows back in that day would not have greenlit it.
hmm
So that's why I'm like at odds.
And it took the power of I Love Lucy to even get this episode.
Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
Let me just say something. At least from what I remember as a kid, I haven't watched it as an adult, I don't think.
Uh huh.
Some episodes of I Love Lucy are the absolute funniest things you will ever see
Yeah,
in life.
there are some episodes. It's just like I mean, I remember belly laughing
Yeah,
hard as a kid. Not even a kid. I was
just
like watched some of these episodes when I was a teenager. So I was like,
I think Teenager is about. Yeah, you're right. A Teenager is about the last time I think I've seen an episode
yeah,
of I Love Lucy, and I remember just laughing hysterically at it. So I'm not hating that I Love Lucy gave us Star Trek. It's just still amazing to me
not at
that
all.
that's how it
I
worked
love that.
out.
I actually love that show. So. To know
Lucy?
that it was because of the producers of the show that we were able to get Star Trek. Period. That says a lot.
Oh no, not the producers. Lucille Ball, actual
Oh,
Actual I Love Lucy is the person who convinced the studio to at NBC to give them a chance at a second pilot.
that is very interesting.
Yeah, not her underling, not someone that reported to her or something like that.
Not the
Lucille
producers,
Ball,
not the showrunner.
yeah, she believed enough in Star Trek that she went to bat after a failed first pilot to be like, no, let's run this back, give you another episode, and then they took it and ran off of it. Like,
Interesting. Okay, well let's get into this episode. Let's
yep,
figure out what we're going
she
to
went to the
rate.
mat for this episode, and we're about to defecate on it. So, let's get going.
I was trying to segue without like making that feeling on it.
Mm-mm. We're gonna do our best.
I
Me
was
actually giving you the speech is making me think I should rate it higher.
higher. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm starting.
You-
But it has nothing to do with what's on screen, though.
I feel like by the end of this, you're going to understand my reasoning as to why I want to give it the rating that I want to give it. Because it's a lot of back and forth. There are a lot of times where I was just like, man, this is like peak Star Trek. It was kind of like how I felt about Charlie X. There was just certain situations. It's like, man, this is peak Star Trek. This is what Star Trek was created for.
Hmm.
And then there are certain situations like, yeesh. Granted, see, so the issue that we're probably going to have with our rating system is that it's going to be difficult to rate any of these episodes higher than a Chateau Picard because of the craziness of the 60s.
Even though I have one that's already rated higher. I think I did Synthahol required on the cage.
Oh, did I? Because I did Chateau Picard on the last one. And
I did
then
Blood Wine on the last one. And then let me take a look because actually I'm keeping track of mine.
the first one I gave. Did I not write that down? I'm about to remember what I gave that.
Gonna have to rewatch the episode. No, not the episode, but what we say about it.
Number two, yeah, episode two I gave a Chateau Picard, and then the last one I gave a Chateau Picard. So
You've been far kinder than me. I went the cage. I went Synthahol required. Charlie X. I went Blood Wine. Mantrap. I went Chateau Picard.
well,
Oh, I read that out of order. Mantrap is 2, so it was Synthahol, Chateau Picard, Blood Wine. I've gotten progressively worse.
so okay, this is part why I'm more lenient is because I know how worse it can get.
I do too,
That's
but
the
I'm
thing.
just
So I'm like,
judging.
I'm weighing it against one of the worst episodes that I've watched of Star Trek: The Original Series.
All right, all
Would we
right.
consider that fair?
If you, I mean, look, being a critic and critically analyzing things is in the eye of the beholder. So, like, I don't think you're being unfair in your approach just because I'm taking a different one. So, like, it's fine.
Because when we get to the vacation episode, spoiler alert.
Shore leave.
Oh yeah, shortly. Spoiler alert. That's definitely getting the blood wine. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think that's a spoiler. Like, if anyone listened to the vacation episode that we did on Strange Trek, they would already know what we're both going to give that episode.
Yes.
And the fact that I don't plan to be sober when I watch it for a second
I
time
don't
when we
either,
get to it.
and that's the thing. I don't either.
Not unless my schedule just doesn't allow for it. Because we have fun, but we got to secure the bag as
Yeah,
well. So,
we got daytime shit going on. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
All right,
You want
let's
me to
get
get into
into
the
it.
episode?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's get into it.
So we open with the captain's log about finding a vessel that has been missing for 2 centuries. Uh, and right off the bat, I have a note here that said, "Did he say that they probe out of the galaxy?"
They
I don't
probe
know if
out
you
of the galaxy.
I don't know if you noticed this, but they're very loose in their terminology about being in the galaxy and outside of the galaxy to the point where I'm like, I don't think Gene Roddenberry knew what the galaxy was exactly because they're talking about leaving the galaxy, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
So
If
okay,
I'm
so
under, am I? Wait a minute, am I stupid? I think the galaxy is like a bigger thing that if you leave a galaxy to go to another galaxy, you not only have left your solar system and you've left every quadrant of space that you're in, you've just left everything that is like your space and
you
you're
left
going
that
to a
part of the
different
galaxy.
galaxy.
Yes.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
all of
there's only
in the
four
other Star
galaxies.
franchise, it
There-
all happens in one galaxy.
There's only four galaxies that we know of. Uh,
Okay.
in real life, which is that's why the alpha, beta, gamma, delta quadrant. Like those are like the different galaxies. It's like
Well, no, actually, this is where we need to clarify it before I
uh-huh.
go on and on about this. I thought alpha, beta, gamma, and delta quadrants were the quadrants of the galaxy that Star Trek takes place in. And then if you left that galaxy, all of that doesn't matter. You'll be in a different thing.
But there's no galaxy outside of that though. I guess okay. I think that's this might be a good strange trek idea for us to
Okay.
talk more about this and because like we one thing I will say to myself I do need to get deep into of understanding how we in the real life um what we consider the galaxy our galaxy and like is it all because like the Milky Way galaxy is like the galaxy that we live in currently so I
Right. And if we left the Milky Way
uh-huh
galaxy, and I just looked it up, there have been over 2 trillion galaxies. Really? Gemini? Are you sure about that?
2
Okay.
trillion.
There have been two. Apparently, Wikipedia is backing up Google Gemini on this one. So, if we left the Milky Way and went to a different galaxy, just because we named the Milky Way in some quadrant system wouldn't apply to that galaxy. Because it's like leaving someone's house and going to another house, right? It's just a different galaxy. So, when they're talking about leaving the galaxy in this episode, they're talking about leaving the Milky Way, right?
Okay, then yeah, that's right. It because it's estimated between 200 billion to 2 trillion galaxies, so it could be anywhere between that amount. So when they're saying outside of the galaxy, they're probably talking outside of a certain galaxy, but he didn't specify which galaxy he was outside of.
Yeah.
So it's the loosely based terms that you're saying that they would normally that they have been saying. I said within these first few episodes because
Yeah.
the world hasn't been fleshed out yet.
Yeah, exactly. So they're talking about leaving the galaxy, but I don't think we ever leave the galaxy again in Star Trek after this.
Uh, that is an interesting question, but I would believe so. But once again,
Okay.
interesting
Well,
question. We'll come back to
strange
that.
Trek, but
We'll circle back
it
to that.
this is the first time I noticed them mentioning leaving the galaxy, and I was like, wait, that doesn't sound right. But anywho, we'll move on. Kirk and Spock are playing chess, and Kirk is apprehensive because they should have found the ship that had been missing by now. And I
Okay,
noted the uniforms are different, which we already had talked about.
I would be remiss to say if I didn't say the fact that they are in, I guess, one of these entertainment rooms that we discovered in one of the previous episodes. So they're in one of these entertainment rooms playing chess,
Mm-hmm.
and Kirk is just looking at a screen of space.
Just staring into space.
just staring into space. There's nothing on the screen whatsoever. There's nothing for him to even like look at. Just staring into space.
Like apprehensively, like I should be seeing something now and I don't. So I'm just gonna keep staring into
I'm just gonna
space.
keep staring at it while I'm
Like
playing
I'm a
chess.
psycho. Yeah, while I'm playing chess with Spock, who later gets upset that he lost because Kirk was illogical in what he did.
And the other thing, like, okay, yeah, the uniforms are all crazy. Spock is in command gold,
Yes.
which is
So is
just
Kirk.
weird. But
We only have gold and blue.
Kirk is always in command gold. So, you know what? I didn't pay attention to that through this whole episode. There are only two colors. You're right, because
Right.
there was no red.
There's absolutely no red shirts. It's just gold, blue, and I don't know what really like Scotty. When we get to him, he's wearing gold.
He's wearing gold.
So
Yes.
I guess gold is engineering, command, security, science. But then there's also blue, which is medical specifically, I think. And I think what we're concluding here is that no one cared what shirt anyone was wearing.
Well, I think they
in
were
this
going.
second pilot.
I think they were going for an old school military structure because like everyone that's in the military, if you're part of like the main troop, you pretty much all wear the same uniform. But if you're a part of the medical side, you wear a different uniform. So like you can be distinguished in
Oh.
war. That oh no, I'm a medical person because it's supposed to be really. It's supposed to be awful for you to kill someone medical, especially when you know that they're medical.
But all wars are crimes.
They are.
So they find something finally, and they put a tractor beam on it and make the great decision to beam it aboard because that's never going to go wrong.
Never.
Um,
No, no,
and
okay.
am I
So
no?
within this conversation that Kirk and Spock is having, he says something to the effect of, "One of my ancestors married a human female." He didn't say my
Really?
father. He said
Ooh.
one of my ancestors. I can't believe one of my ancestors married a human female because he was talking about how illogical humans are.
Right. Well, I think so. This is a perfect
It is.
perfect segue into a point that I was going to make as well. So Spock is weird this episode.
Yes.
He's so weird,
There are a
especially
number of
now
things
that we
he does
have.
throughout this episode that I'm just like, what?
Yeah, especially now that we have a prequel of him,
Uh huh.
and I'm just like, where his like mom has been aboard, and she's been. Well, no, I don't think she's been aboard around anyone that's in this episode, but like we know him, so seeing him act in this episode, I'm just like, what is he? do?
But it's not like that. It isn't known that his father is Sarek, and Sarek married a human. That is,
I think it.
uh huh.
I think it is a little unclear on who his father is because I think when his father shows up, he has to kind of tell people that this is my dad in the Journey to Babel episode.
Which would be crazy if during that episode that Uhura was there because Uhura has already met. Well, not necessarily met, but she knows.
She's met his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is this is a good time to bring up my question, and I mentioned to you before we got here that we talk about it. Where does this episode fit? And I can hear Steve Shives on his channel being like, "It's wherever the whatever, no canon, whatever." You know, not to because I love his channel, but I'm not. But I'm
We
kind
get
of
all
like,
that. But we get all that.
yeah. But it's on screen. It's canon. Spock is having a day, and to your point, like it doesn't make sense where he was before and where we know here he goes that he acts the way he does this episode. And I'm
Yes.
just like, what is going on?
Yes.
like, Like,
Yes,
and of course, the people who
but
made it had no clue that they needed an explanation. But I'm just like, I don't get what's going on.
I mean, but like also being fair to it. Like we don't know at this point. Leonard Nimoy doesn't fully know exactly how this character is supposed to be acted out. He's he's really everything that he's doing is on the cusp. Like he is
He's
trying
working
to
with the
like
lines that they gave him.
yes, and he's trying to understand the character and what direction they're going. So like that's why we get more of the less emotional Spock later on in the season going into the next season because he's gotten to the point where he understands his character like oh I shouldn't be showing really truly any emotion and when I do show emotion that's a big deal.
But he was more Spock in the cage than he was in this. So I'm just kind of
Yeah, but this was
also
the second episode though. And
the other thing that yeah.
with what they done so far. So you have the Captain Pike very first episode, and then bam, this one's the second one that they shot. So you got the cage, and then you have here. But even in the cage, there were still certain instances where it's just like when he laughed when they were looking at the flowers. That's not how Vulcan would have reacted in that situation.
Well, interesting enough, Discovery kind of addresses that uh,
They do.
to a certain extent because he cracks a smile around Pike again and was like, "Did you smile?" um, yeah, I get that. I think one of the things that's missing for me in terms of Spock in this episode as well is the fact that Spock at no point, despite being the actual science officer, tries to solve the mystery of what's going on with Gary Mitchell, which we'll get obviously more into. And I'm just like, at no point in Discovery, Strange New Worlds,
Mm-hmm.
or in future episodes of TOS do we not get a Spock that's not the guy that's like trying to solve the scientific mystery at the core of it.
Well,
Like
I
he
feel
kind
like
of
he
does
did
it.
though, because he like tells them what later on within this episode he tells them like you're thinking of this with emotion, and I'm thinking of this logically. No, we need to off this guy.
But no, I don't think that's like a scientific. Wait, he doesn't try to examine what the energies are that have influenced him. He doesn't try
Yeah,
to find a
yeah,
cure
how
for
it
them.
happened. Yeah,
Yeah, like there's
yeah,
no like trying to explain
that makes sense.
what they've come across at all, and I'm like, that's what Spock is there for. Him and Data are there to make sense of what has just happened to everybody, and at no point does he do this. He's just like,
See,
huh, he has ESP and weird stuff has happened. Let's cap him.
you're pushing my rating down. See, see, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Once we started talking about it, you gonna point out certain things. I'm just like, damn, you're right.
So yeah, I got an issue, but
And then
it'll come
this is
back.
the
That's
first. We're still in the first scene, by the way.
well, but you brought up a topic that I was waiting on to talk to you about because waiting to get on air to talk to you about because I'm like, that's why this episode doesn't fit to me because the
Yes.
Spock we see in Strange New Worlds and Discovery and the Spock we see after this is not the Spock in this episode,
Mm-hmm.
and he's still the science officer, and I'm just like, did he get on, did
Hold
he
on.
get
Wait.
up on the
Wait.
wrong side of the bed today, or did
Is this your four lights? Is it?
if you don't have one, we can use this one for it. I think
Like,
I've said it already,
did
but
I not hit the button?
you didn't hit the button. I think we should save it and maybe just play it retroactively because I've kind of said what I needed to say on it. But let's see where
I
the
feel like
episode goes.
we're gonna have another moment. If I'm being honest
Okay.
with you.
So they beam it on board the ship. Congrats to Scotty for making his first appearance ever in Star Trek.
I have that
I
on here.
guess.
Introduction of Scotty, transporter chief? Exclamation? Question mark?
And we talked about this off air. I think he's still chief engineer, but he is absolutely working a transporter shift, like
Yeah.
they're understaffed or something.
Like no other transporter technician could have beamed this thing aboard. We need to get our chief engineer to do this. I've never seen Geordi do it.
Oh, that's fair. Or Balana.
or Balana, yes, or Hammer.
I've seen Trip. Yeah, we didn't see him, or I've seen Trip operate the transporter, but
Yeah,
that's
but
because
that's different because the
it was
transporter during
bleeding
that
edge
time was a
technology.
very it was very experimental, and he didn't Trip didn't like the transporter, nor did
Right,
he think at all was it safe.
right. Which I mean, who knows? He could have been right back then.
Oh no, he was right back then. There is no could have been. He was.
Absolutely. So whatever they beam on board. Okay, my notes are going to get a little sparse here. So if there's something that you can say to fill it in, that'll be helpful. They hook whatever they beamed into the computer. It starts beeping, and they go to red alert.
Yeah, so
Like
I didn't
everything happens.
understand that at all. By the
Oh,
way,
okay. So I'm not alone.
no, you're not. You're not at all. I'm like,
It's
hold on,
like
wait. Why is he? Why is he saying general quarter red alert? Like what? What's going on? Right? Was what
I'm not
was
exactly sure what happened.
was this beep like? Was this going to harm the Enterprise? So like, I didn't. I had zero clue why we went to red alert.
Yeah, I don't either. I think I actually rewound the scene to try to figure out what happened when I was making my
I
notes,
did
and I'm
as
like, I
well.
still okay.
I
I'm
did
like, I
as
still
well.
don't totally get what happened,
I was really kind of hoping that you could explain that to me.
and I was hoping that you could explain it to me. This is why we're friends. Now we'll just live in mystery.
See, and I
Unpopular
was hoping
explorers.
like
If
this
you
was be one of those situations. He's like, "Oh yeah, they went to red alert because of da 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 da." It's like, "Oh okay," and then I give it like an extra point because
nope. Unpopular explorers. If you know why we had to go to red alert, I mean, granted, how stupid is it to beam something that from a ship that you don't know what happened to it onto the ship to begin with, and then hook it into the computer? And I'm like,
yes,
at this point, I'm
yes,
reminding myself, okay, they're explorers. This is the risk they're supposed to be taking. And then something happens, and they are at red alert, and then it never comes up again.
never, never.
So
Actually, in the next scene, there is no red alert like monikers on the bridge. I did pay attention to that. There are
I didn't catch that.
no red alert monikers on the bridge. So this what this made me think. So I had to plug my, stop it.
I'm sorry, this is hilarious.
So I had to plug my brain into like the 1960s, okay?
Okay.
Uh so my thought process is this is the scene that you play before it goes to the like the main title
To the
screen,
commercials? Yeah,
the
the cold
credits and
open.
everything. It goes commercial and then comes back. So you needed something to hook people in to want to come back after the commercials. So calling for red alert and like making it seem like things are getting tense and stuff like that. That makes people want to be like, oh well, why do they call red alert? I mean, I kind of want to see where this is going. Da, 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 da.
Well, how long were commercial breaks back then? There, like, what did you do during? Like, I don't
I
understand why you
don't
would forget
know.
that we went to red alert and then we weren't at red alert. Like, it got resolved during the commercial break, and we're just good.
Keep in mind that this is supposed to be an hour show. When we watch these episodes, they're anywhere between 48 to 50 minutes. So that only leaves
Mm-hmm.
about what 10 12 minutes of commercials.
Yeah, like 5 2-minute commercial breaks.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
So
wow, that's
once again, we didn't grow up in the 60s.
yeah.
So
We don't know what it was like.
we don't know what it was
Uh,
like, how the feel like we don't. But I was trying to like understand it and I didn't understand and I was like I said, I was kind of hoping you could tell me.
I do think it's hilarious that we both watched it, rewound it, watched it again, and I was like, Dante will explain it to me, and you were like, Patrick will explain it. And we're both like, I don't know what happened.
I literally put in my notes, put all decks on alert for what? Like that's literally what I put down.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. They plugged it in, and then everything freaked out, but then everything was fine. Like, so I have no clue what happened. Well, anyways, that's not going to push the score up.
Not at all.
So Spock Kirk and Gary Mitchell go to the bridge. And according to my notes, the thingy...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, the thingy that they plugged in... Because I don't know what they actually plugged into it. I don't remember what they called it, so it's the thingy to me. The thingy that they plugged into the computer took them to the last known coordinates of the Valiant that disappeared 2 centuries ago. And then a bunch of people come to the bridge. It's Scotty, Sulu, the doctor, and Dinner, who is a psychiatrist.
Yeah, because
they all report in.
He calls for what's the word I'm looking for?
Department heads?
Yeah, all department heads to come to the bridge. Before that, though, I do want to point out the yeoman. Right. Number one,
What?
very pretty woman. Number one.
Of course.
I do want to put that out. Number
This is
two.
going to be a theme in TOS.
Oh, it's going to be a major theme in TOS. Number two, how the hell do you not know the name of your yeoman?
I didn't get even what that was supposed to be telling us about his character. Like, what, Kirk doesn't care about people? That doesn't seem right.
It's like...
And then I was like,
Smith, it's Smith, sir. What the? How do you not know the name of your yeoman? Like, this is like the main person that you interact with on a day-to-day basis that gives you ship updates. Even if she is brand spanking new, you ask for her, so apparently you know her name.
And then, I also thought, like, is it a 60s sexism thing that is just so buried that I was like, maybe back then it wasn't important to know women's names, but then they, like, knew Dinner. And we'll get to the sexism towards her in a little bit.
I got a number of them in my...
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't for the life of me understand why it's important that in your second pilot, to get your show launched off the ground, you took 10 seconds to make sure that we all knew that Kirk did not know that woman's name.
Did not know his... like... And then Sulu's in blue.
Sulu's in blue.
Sulu's in blue. When I looked at it, I was like, is that George the guy?
It was Sulu.
It looks like...
I also don't know what department he was representing.
That's another thing. Like... And then the very old man, I guess that was the doctor, right?
He was the doctor from the cage, right? I didn't go back and look.
I think he was.
Yeah, I think he was the doctor in both pilots.
Yeah, I think he was.
And he brought Dinner to basically be like, I'm reporting in, medical's good to go. Also, we have a psychiatrist now, and she's here with me.
Well, I mean, whenever they introduce a major side character like that means they're integral in the plot. So,
right.
As we saw later on within this episode,
which he might as well have said out loud, given her need to be on the bridge.
Yes.
She's going to be important this episode. All right, Scotty report in. And of course, Scotty, having learned from Pelia, was just like, yeah, engineering's ready to go. I mean, engineering could have been on fire, and he could have been like, yeah, engineering's ready to go.
We're still good.
That's just what Scotty says.
This is fine.
Yeah.
The dog on fire me. This is fine. This is fine.
Exactly. Hey, he learned from the best. Engineering is always okay. And we'll have the thing that the captain needs when it's time.
But old girl says that ESP can be possible, but in a limited capacity.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that true?
I don't know. So when she said that, I was just like, are we saying this like it's like more of a scientific fact within the 60s, or are we just saying this like because it's just some random BS science stuff that we can throw in for this futuristic show?
I think it is, because do they even... I mean, this was absolutely something I was not going to research. I was like, I do not care enough about ESP to try to understand.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Because at some point they also rate... They have a numerical scale for how ESP-ish you are.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, and so like Dinner and Mitchell are rated high ESP. And I'm like, oh, is that a thing? Or was that a thing in the 60s that we concluded was BS? Or is that a thing that to your point, that they think in the future is a thing you'd be able to
Yes.
do? So I have no clue. I also don't care. You can comment. I'm not going to read it.
Uh, I'll comment back. Gotta get that
Yes,
engagement,
this
Patrick.
is your channel. You're the host of the show.
Gotta get the engagement. Get them engaged, Patrick. Jeez. This
If
is a
you make a
terrible
comment
host.
about ESP, the unpopular Black Explorer himself will comment. I do not care enough to comment. So if you know the answer, and I'm not trying to be offensive, I just don't think anyone's out here studying ESP. Like, I could be wrong, but
Yeah, I don't think that's a strong field that people are just like, yeah, I gotta know more about this.
yep. And of course, after we learn about Dinner's existent, Gary Mitchell, despite seemingly being the first officer and at work, makes a pass at her, just right
Okay,
on the bridge.
I want
Decides to.
I want to talk about this whole scene. I want to.
I don't even remember what he said to her. I just remember whatever he said to her was something so 60s that I didn't write it down, and I was like, "Is that a pickup line? What did he say?"
Okay,
I was so confused.
okay. Number one, okay, no Uhura on the bridge. Okay,
Yeah, Uhura's not here yet.
Uhura's not there. It's just some random black guy that's in her seat, which I believe is the same actor that they show later. That's Doctor Mbanga.
Nice,
I want to point that
Doctor
out.
Shaft.
All right, some crazy stuff happens, and then they're like, okay, where are you at in the scene? Are you talking about? Are you also at the point where they like do some things and then Spock starts yelling on the bridge?
No, I think you're ahead of me
Okay,
because the ESP conversation is also ahead.
because it's
Because
still on the
the
bridge that
next,
we're having this conversation.
yeah, we're all on the bridge. We haven't left the bridge yet because Dinner says something like, I'm here to study and I'm pulling this from memory, the stress reactions of people in emergency situations, and she would have loved to have studied the Valiant. And then
Yes,
Gary
yes.
Mitchell says something that I guess is supposed to get her out on a date or something, and I don't understand it because it's so 60s coded that I'm like, I don't know, he could have been speaking Korean at that point. I'm like, I have no idea what he said to her. And then she turns him down, and he calls her a, quote, walking freezer unit
Yes.
to one of his coworkers on the bridge that he serves in a leadership position in. And then after that, also there's a connection to Riker and Troy I want to make. So let's do that in a little bit. But just to get us through the scene to where you want to
Interesting.
talk, um,
Hmm.
Spock discovers the Valiant had encountered some unknown force, and then, jeez. Okay, I just want to make a note that the dialogue in this episode, if you haven't picked up, is terrible.
Terrible.
I don't
Awful.
understand.
Awful,
There are
Patrick.
absolutely points where I don't understand what people are saying to each other,
But
and they're speaking English.
giving giving it more context, though, we do have to point out that this is like early on Star Trek. Gene Roddenberry has not fleshed out the universe. We don't know about the Federation. We don't know about like certain things that are said like that is normal within Star Trek. So we kind of and I guess that's why I do that. I'm more lenient on the rating than you are because I'm like looking at I'm trying to like put all that into the same context.
The problem is,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to get to this because I
Damn it!
have it as something we should
I was
discuss.
kind of
Which
hoping
one's the
you didn't
better
have a
pilot?
rebuttal.
Yeah, I know. The problem is that the cage didn't have this issue.
I know.
The second pass is worse than the first pass, and I don't understand it. And we'll explore that more because
I
like
think
I
I
said,
have
I
an
had a
idea, but we'll get to that at the closer to the end.
okay. Maybe you can explain it to me. Because literally, my note is like the Valiant got hit by unknown force, and then I wrote something about ESP. Somebody says something about ESP. I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand what it is. Dinner is rated ESP high. And then, according to my notes, which I'm going to read verbatim here, bunch of stuff happens, and the Valiant ordered a self-destruct. So I don't. They
Yes.
blew themselves up because of something with a Force in ESP, not the Force, obviously, because that's a different franchise. But I don't know.
It
And also,
it
I
sounded
have a
like
note here.
somebody on their ship got got like
Gary Mitchell powers,
yeah, got the Gary Mitchell powers, and
and then they blew the ship up.
they blew the ship up because he or she was going to be a danger to the human race. Because I want to say the Federation, but we haven't said the Federation yet. So the human race as a whole.
At this point, we're still fascism because we haven't established the
One
Federation.
100%, we're fascists.
So I have a note to myself here that I don't know if you picked up on. Well, it's a continuation of the earlier note, and they keep saying they are leaving the galaxy, and it's distracting now. Also, we're leaving the galaxy at warp 1.
Warp after warp, yes.
Yeah. And I was like, quite a bit hasn't been thought through. I'm like, all right, let's get out of the galaxy, which contains all the known quadrants in the Milky Way, and we're going to get out of the galaxy as fast as we can, warp 1. Let's go. And I'm just like, okay, this is rough to watch.
It does make me
None
think
of
like,
this
since
makes
how
sense.
like these are like more pilot episodes, that means they probably didn't have like a true scientist on their staff that like helped them with some of the terminology and stuff.
Yeah,
But I know Gene Roddenberry ends up hiring
good.
consultants like that made like
Okay.
that's why a lot of the stuff is more fleshed out later.
Once you have the budget, then you can hire people. Because I get it. There's no Google, no
Yeah,
ChatGPT
yeah,
back then. But man, it. Once I didn't understand why we went to Red Alert, and I was already kind
yeah.
of thrown off by the Galaxy thing. Like there was so much stuff that was just going on, and I didn't understand what Gary Mitchell's pickup line, inappropriate pickup line at work was, and I was just like, I was getting so lost in what people were saying to each other that by the time they kept talking about leaving the Galaxy, I was just like, it's hard to ignore.
The crazy thing is, I like Gary Mitchell as a character, though.
I do too.
I think I liked
I
him
really
better than
do.
Kirk. It's just like blasphemy. I know. It was almost like, okay, Gary Mitchell is just going to be on just this episode, just for this plot, and because we can't have another man that could be more of a heartthrob that's going to like steal all the women from Kirk.
So that's where I landed with. I think Gary Mitchell is Riker. I think Dinner is
Yes,
Troy.
yes, yes.
And I think like this gets picked up on later, basically in TNG, but changed to where obviously more lovable, more for the times, and more something that can be enduring. But
Hmm.
I was like, oh, a brash first officer falls in love with or is infatuated with a lady in medical, and stuff. Lindsay, like this is like the Romeo and Juliet version of Riker and Troy.
See, but I'm about to blow all that up. So keep going.
Okay. That's good. Anytime we find a redeeming quality in this episode, one of us is blowing it up for the other person. So that's awesome.
I'm waiting for you to get
Uh,
to the part.
so, faced with this unknown force that had destroyed the ship 200 years ago, they decided to just fly right into it. Like, we're,
Yes,
we're just going to ram it.
yes. We're just gonna go directly into it. Yep.
I
No,
mean, if there ever
no,
needed to be a.
no
Go
scanning
ahead.
it. No paying attention, like to see, like, okay, is this nebula different from any other nebulas that we've been into? Like, not even like researching all that before we fly into this damn thing. Like, because apparently the other ship was destroyed because they flew into this. So we're just gonna fly into it with the same like
Same
curiosity
thing.
as the
Same
other
plan.
ship. Like,
Hey, we're 200 years later. Yeah, same
uh,
plan. No alteration.
we're all
We've
good.
learned nothing. We just think we can make it.
Yeah, yeah, we're good. Technology is much different now. We're good.
Also, when they're flying into it, Mitchell and Smith hold hands for some reason.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm glad you pointed that out because I have that in my notes too, and I'm like, why is the yeoman and the commander holding hands? What is this? What?
They don't call him the first officer, but he's the first officer, right? Like,
They don't say he's the first officer. They say commander, and then later on in the episode they call him lieutenant commander. So he does hold the rank of lieutenant commander. The question is, what rank does Spock hold? We know he's just the head of science, but they never said that he was commander.
oh,
Plus the stripes, if you paid attention on the uniforms, their stripes are completely all off. So
yeah, they don't match.
they
I saw
don't
Kirk's
match at
stripes,
all.
and I was like, oh, that's not captain. He's not a captain. Who's in charge?
Who's in charge? Yeah. So it's like you don't know what is what.
Yeah.
Who is who. You just know like rankings. You know Spock is head of science. You know that Gary Mitchell is lieutenant commander. He looks like he's in the position for that's the ops position, right? That he was sitting in. That's the one. Where Chekhov
Yeah,
will be
Chekhov's
sitting
going to
on.
be there at some point, and Sulu's going to be
And
next to him. I
Sulu's
think
the
Sulu
pilot.
has
That's
the.
yeah.
No. Chekhov's the pilot. I think Sulu has the security board.
I thought Sulu was the okay. Maybe
I
I'm
could be
confusing
wrong.
that.
We'll know in the future. We'll know for sure. I thought at some point, I thought Chekhov flew the ship, but I don't know. And it's clear from this that they haven't thought through anything either. So
We
who knows
haven't.
what it does?
That's why in the next generation a lot of this stuff is more succinct because it's like okay we've
Oh,
already had like multiple episodes within this universe so we can flesh out this universe a lot better than what we did previously. So then you knew who was who. You knew who was the captain. You knew who was first officer, head of head of medical, who flew the ship, who was ops, who was on security. Like you knew this stuff. Like
that is a really good point that you just made. It feels like every assignment in person is just so random
yes,
on here that you really can't tell what anyone is supposed to be doing at any one point in
and
time
really
during this episode.
the only position that you don't fully understand in TNG is the who's head of engineering because that person changes
A
dramatically
lot
in the
until they
first
make it
season
Jordy. Yeah.
until Geordi they make Geordi it and that's done and done.
You know, that triggered something. I heard on some podcast that Gene Roddenberry, who didn't have all the best ideas for TNG, but, could just go unhinged because he already had a successful show. I think at some point, and we'll look it up when we get there, that he thought engineering would be so precise and like automated at that point that you didn't need,
A
which
head
is
of
hilarious
engineering.
for not just a head of engineering or anyone down there. Like it just like would run itself pretty well, which is hilarious given that by the time you get to DS9, like the Federation's known for its best engineers. That Gene Roddenberry at some point thought like, yeah, you don't need a chief engineer or really anybody down there unless the story demands. It just doesn't matter.
Plus, you need somebody yelling, coolant leak, there's a
Yeah.
coolant leak.
Granted, if there's one problem with this giant blue thing, the whole ship's going to blow up. But it's so good that you don't need people there. So don't worry about it. I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. When he passed away, I know he passed away in the middle of TNG.
Yeah, during TNG, like season 5 or something like that.
Yeah, so but like by season 2, did he like hand off responsibilities to the
I
other
think so.
writers? That's why like you started to get like different succinctness in season 2 than from season 1. Like we'll talk about that more once we get to the rewatch of
Yeah,
that series, but
once we survive the TOS rewatch.
we still got 150 some odd episodes to
I know, right? Whew. Loud. Okay, so Mitchell and Smith hold hands, which I guess makes sense in the late 60s. I don't know.
I
Stuff
still don't
starts.
understand that. I don't.
I don't get what happened. It also made me confused because he had just hit on dinner.
And
Called
I
her.
thought they were an item after that because of that.
Well, he also calls her a walking freezer unit to one of his coworkers, which should get you reported to HR, but whatever.
They have HR in the Federation.
Apparently not.
Oh,
I don't
Steve
know.
Shaw should do that next.
he just did a Starfleet journalist video that was pretty funny plus serious, and I'm like, yeah, that's a good point.
As a journalist, but I need him to do like a head of HR for Starfleet.
That would be cool. Steve, if you hear this, we're fans and would love for you to do that.
That would be hilarious.
So dinner gets zapped, Mitchell gets zapped, and that's a lack of a better way to say it. They just kind of change colors for a second, and then they're good. Kirk at this point, after a bunch of stuff blows up and people have been unalived, decides maybe it's a good time to withdraw.
No. So you can't just gloss over that one because we have a counter to keep up with. All right,
Go for it.
So Spock says nine are dead after that whole thing.
You're right.
Going into this nebula blind. So 9 are dead. All right. Since we don't know if they're
a ship
blue,
that's been missing for 200 years. You don't even need this ship.
Apparently not. We don't know if they were blue, red, or yellow shirts. Okay. I mean, granted, we know,
they're not red.
We know they're not red because there's no red shirts in this episode.
Right.
So my unknown counter at the beginning of this episode was at 18 dead so far.
Okay.
After that 9, we're up 27.
27 unknowns. Okay, yes. Got it. I mean, honestly, one of the worst command decisions in Kirk's career is to just
ram
the Enterprise into the.
And I want us to keep in mind after like going through this is that like my whole reason for counting the people who have died on the all of TOS is because we always have the joke that red shirts, if a red shirt's going down on the planet with the captain and all them, that red shirt's going to get offed. So I'm really like, who, like, really, truly, how many people really passed away under Kirk's watch?
Yep. So you're going to know by the time we get to the end of this, like a few years from now. Actually, you'll probably have a pretty good indication once we finally get out of this first season where things are going.
I think we would.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I do want to point out certain things from this.
Yes.
This whole
have I got to the point that?
Yes. This is part of the most like stuff that I got to say about any scene in this episode.
Okay.
Because like the main thing that I paid attention to was the yeoman and lieutenant commander holding hands, and then Spock yelling commands.
I missed
on the bridge. You missed that? Like sensor beams on? You didn't.
Oh, he also yells for the damage report, doesn't
he?
Yeah, he's straight up. Yeah, he's going. Something's wrong with Spock this episode.
And I put that in my notes. Why is Spock yelling?
Which again is weird because he was very Spock in the cage. Like he kind of reacted in the cage, like we've seen Ethan Peck Spock. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. In Strange New Worlds, like that all feels very consistent. This particular Spock is like, is he like 2 days away from Pon farr and it's just like starting to hit him? Like what is wrong with him?
100%. I think you hit the nail on the head.
I'm like, why is he so bad at everything? Not that he's showing emotion.
We are so many years from the Strange New Worlds cast, so it's probably been a while since he's got his rocks off. So,
oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Once Kirk shows up as his captain, he has to stop effing everyone on the ship.
Yeah, because Kirk is the one doing it now.
I saw side note. I saw a tweet that the actress that plays La'an, she's wrapped. So she's wrapped for the series. So the whole series is about to wrap pretty soon.
Like they've already shot the 5th season?
Yeah, like they're shooting the 5th season now, and I think she was saying on Twitter that like all her scenes are wrapped now. So she's like,
oh wow,
yeah,
that's
crazy, huh?
We haven't gotten to the 4th season. I guess that's crazy. That's crazy for me because I mean, we are from Tennessee, I should say, which is probably the best thing to point this out. Like, and I have a friend that's in production for Nashville 911. And she has talked about their production schedule because, like, I recently just like it's my wife's best friend, and she was recently just over like a week ago, and I was like, oh man, like how y'all doing? Y'all almost y'all should be wrapped up for the season, right? She was like, no, we're not. Like we just got through from the season that's going the episode that's going to air in like 2 weeks. We just got to the point of like pretty much wrapping that up. I was like, really?
Oh wow. Yeah, that's another thing. You know what? I think I might have to like just out of professional curiosity really get into media and entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Someone I work with very closely used to work in media and entertainment. I said it that way so I don't like out myself too much here on Al Gore's internet. Um,
Hilarious.
but there must be something very different about being on a network show that airs weekly that's going to be
Mm-hmm.
20 something episodes long
Mm-hmm.
versus being on a streaming thing because you're right, it is very if she's still working on the season that's currently airing and Strange
Yeah.
New Worlds is done
They're
before
wrapping it
like
up
it's
on
gonna
their fifth season. They haven't
yeah
even. We just wrapped up the third season, like actually being aired.
yeah but why would it be different? That's the answer I really want to know is like why that is weird. Hmm.
I don't know. I guess just production schedules. I don't know. I wish I did know, but that was like eye opening to me when she told me that. She was like, "Yeah," and really, like she's been in a number of series,
Mm-hmm.
um, and she was like, "This one is totally different from her previous jobs
Mm.
too." So I can pretty much say that this is probably not the norm, I guess. But
I guess
I am curious to know more.
I guess if you're on the hook for weekly ratings on appointment television on a network, you'd want some flexibility to be able to flex to something current, right? So like you're gonna enjoy the next reference I'm about to make, but
Hilarious.
like if you wanted to say something about 6-7 in
Oh
linear
God.
episodes, so
Yeah.
that you're current to something that's going on, then maybe you do want to film them just a couple of weeks before they go out, even though like a production delay or actor availability could raise issues. Whereas I guess Strange New Worlds isn't as concerned about that. It's more about like, well, when is Ethan Peck available? When is Anson Mount available? When is Rebecca
Yeah.
Romaine
You don't
available?
have to
Like,
be as current. I get that.
yeah.
But
Maybe it's more like shooting a movie than.
I guess so. I mean, like, okay, like South Park, the
Mm-hmm.
creators of South Park, they only make that like either within the week or the week before when they
Oh,
make
that's
their
amazing.
episodes. So, but they do that because they want the episode to like connect with current times.
Right.
And you know, it's much difficult. It's way
Yeah,
more
they want to be
difficult to do
contemporary.
that. Uh,
It's like The Daily Show to a certain extent.
exactly, exactly. But that makes sense for a show that's like that, making fun of stuff.
Yeah.
Very weird to do that with the Nashville 911. Just throw it
Well, I
out.
haven't seen National 911 yet, so I don't know.
If you watched it, it is some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen.
All I know
Like,
is you told me once, and sorry for the unpopular explorers who aren't familiar with Nashville, but you told me once that they hijacked the General Jackson. I was like,
yes,
what? I'm like, how do
yes,
you do that? How is
yes.
that possible?
Like anyone in their right mind would even hijack the General Jackson number one. Like, why would you?
Why would you?
Like,
And also, I'm making it sound like the General Jackson is like an impenetrable. It's a riverboat
it's
that
just a
goes up and
riverboat.
down the Cumberland River. It's just that if you've seen the Cumberland River before, it's not like you can launch a sea attack on, on anything in there. It's not that big of a river. That's why I'm like, how would you even do that? I guess you just hijack it from inside. I have no idea.
There are some crazy stuff that they put within this, and I'm just like, well, there have been a lot of crazy, probably 911 stuff that's happened in Nashville. Y'all could have just like researched all of that and been like, oh, that would be good to put in an episode. That would be good to put in an episode. Da da da. But no, we want to go as outlandish as possible. Like they had a little girl flying a kite in Centennial Park, and the wind is so strong that it blows her into the air because she's flying this kite.
Um,
As a person who went to school for aviation, and I know the equations for lift, I can honestly tell you that that is impossible, especially the kite that they had shown. It looked like a regular kite that she was flying, not like one of those big kites that they have like over in China or Japan that's like really, really long. Those I could understand. Like, okay, yeah, that if one person was holding that, like there could be enough lift created to send somebody into the air. And the funny thing is that's exactly where they got that from.
hmm.
There was a situation that happened over in, I believe, Japan, where someone was holding one of those kites, but it's one of the bigger, longer kites, like a full length. Think of a full length dragon in like a kite form, and the
Oh, okay.
wind picked it up just enough to where that person also went into the air with it.
Oh, interesting. Oh, so like one of like the like Macy's
Yeah, something like that.
Thanksgiving balloons. Like if they start to take off the wrong way, you gotta
Yeah,
let it go.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like
interesting.
it had to be big enough to generate enough lift to take even just a child, what like 40, 50 pounds.
Right.
Like even to still lift the child into the air, it still needs to be enough lift and enough area force on the kite to lift this person into the air. Okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox on that one.
Okay. Yeah. Well, because your point was basically like, why does Nashville 911 not on the same production schedule as Strange New Worlds?
Yes,
Given that they're not
yes.
trying to be contemporary, because they're hijacking the General Jackson and having little girls defy the laws of physics and gravity and, and things like that to take off. I get you.
I could talk about that forever. We're not gonna get into that too much.
Yeah, because we're still like basically at the beginning of this episode, and
Yes,
we've been recording for God knows how long.
an hour
Um,
probably. So
okay. Kirk checks on Gary, and Gary's eyes are silver or gray or something. They're effed up.
hmm
And now they're outside the galaxy, which makes sense, right? All right.
it's funny that you picked up on that and I didn't, because that sounds like something that would really like upset me. And the fact that I
It messed
never
with me
did
pretty
pick,
bad.
I actually feel bad that I didn't pick up on that, but you did.
Well, because I guess I'm so Deep Space Nine Voyager coded at this point. It's just like you said, being a retrospective. They said quadrant. We've left our quadrant somehow.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
yeah,
oh, maybe they went through a wormhole or something like that. But being outside the galaxy, I guess you could still take a wormhole outside the galaxy. But no one goes outside the galaxy in Star Trek. Like the galaxy is a very different.
yeah.
So F it. It's a pilot. I have to let it go, but I can't let it go at the same time.
You kind
So
of
yeah,
have to give it certain levels of grace, though.
right. And that's what I'm trying to do. If the rest of the episode was better, it'd be easier to do. So
Hilarious.
now it's a tough job to do. And they're trying to figure out what happened to the Valiant. And we learned that the people who we also this got a little bit confusing to me. We learned that the people on board who were ESP sensitive were the ones that were affected, and Gary was the highest among them.
hmm
So why didn't the other ESP people? They didn't say how many they were, but I don't want to get into it. But it seems like
They didn't explain that very well. Maybe
mm,
the people that was on the bridge were closest to the anomaly, which was Gary
yeah,
and that doctor girl. I forgot her name.
dinner.
Dinner. Like,
You're like Kirk. What's her
No,
name?
that's the
Jones.
yeoman. That's the yeoman. That's the yeoman. Don't do that. Don't do that. I would know the yeoman's name. All right. I am terrible with names, but I would know the yeoman's name. Um. So, I, I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense is that because they were on the bridge, they were the closest to the anomaly when they went into it. And who to say? Like those other 9 people that got offed earlier, they probably could have been ESP sensitive
Yeah,
and just didn't. They didn't make it.
that's very convenient. Kirk visits Gary in sick bay. They share some story about how Gary caught an STD on Deneb 4,
Oh, best,
and I
yeah,
concluded,
best banter ever. I just want to
yeah.
say.
I assume that Deneb 4 is right next to Wrigley's Pleasure Planet, given what they said about it.
It's in the
So,
same quadrant.
yeah, the same quadrant. It's in the same galaxy. Could you imagine if you went to Wrigley's Pleasure Galaxy?
No, no,
You'd
just
never
no, no.
leave.
Just think. Like, I am on vacation for a week. I could hop to Wrigley's Pleasure Planet, then to what was this place that they were saying?
Deneb 4.
Deneb 4. I could hop over to Deneb 4, and then to Riza. That's a week, bro.
Make sure you do your cardio
That's like
before you
jumping
do that.
from Vegas to Miami to I don't know, like
Oh.
Rio.
Something like that.
Like
My notes for this,
a time would be had. Think of our friend
indeed.
group. Think of our friend group, and we went to those 3 places. Actually, I don't even think our wives would let us go to those 3
I was
places.
about to
Now that
say,
I'm
this
thinking
is
about
pre 2010 thinking that you have.
it, you're
If
going
you think
well.
that
No, the hell you are not.
I can get away with that, but that's because I'm lonely. Y'all now
No.
cannot get away with that. My notes, my plot point notes for this are
Hmm.
not helpful. Because I'm going to read it verbatim. Things get a bit confusing, but it sounds like Kirk, who's referred to as a stack of books with legs, at the academy. Sounds like he taught at the academy when he was a lieutenant, and then Gary arranged a woman who might have been a student, maybe,
Hilarious.
to date Kirk, and then Kirk almost married that woman. And this is the first time Gary was admitting that he somehow arranged a woman to. I don't understand what
I
this is the dialogue in this episode. I'm like, what is happening?
So I will honestly say that that's one of the main dialogues in the episode that I liked because it like that's as part of one of the main reasons why I liked Gary too as a character
Okay,
because of like he's talking to Kurt like this is his captain, all right, regardless
yeah.
of like how cool they are, like this is his captain and he's talking to him as nonchalant like this, like hey, you remember when we went to Wrigley's Pleasure Planet and we got that girl. Nah, 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 nah. Like,
Well, but no, that's not that story. He's
I,
saying that when Kirk was teaching at the academy, he arranged it so that a girl made him fall in love with her to some unknown end, and
what
they just kind of laugh it off.
what he was saying was is that he knows Kirk so well that he knew the type of girl that he would fall for. So he arranged the two of them to like pretty much get closer to one another. And so Kirk always thought it was just like by happenstance, but apparently like Gary orchestrated the two of them to meet or whatnot, which is not beyond the pale of possibility because like I mean
Oh, okay. If he said it the way that you said it, I would have totally tracked. That is not the way that it was written.
yeah, I didn't take it, and granted I could be misremembering or I probably didn't fully
No, I
hear
don't think
everything that they
you're
said,
the
but
the wording that they used to me came off like Gary played a practical joke on Kirk
oh no, it
and
wasn't a
almost
practical
made him
joke.
fall. Say what?
It wasn't a practical joke, no.
Okay, so to me, the way the scene was written, the dialogue in this episode. I think that's what threw me off.
Yes. Yes.
The what you just said makes perfect sense. They just didn't say it the way you said it. And if
And
they said it the way you said it, I would have been like, oh, okay, I get what's going on here.
like I said, it's one of the main reasons why I ended up liking Gary as a character because of his relationship that he had with Kirk. And then I found out that they were in the academy together and
Yeah.
that Kirk specifically asked for him uh, to be aboard the ship on his first command.
Okay, so Kirk wasn't teaching at. Maybe I really misread everything that was going on in the scene.
I mean, that's
Kirk wasn't
impossible.
teaching at the academy. They were at the academy together, and he was a
Yes.
walking book of. Okay,
Yes.
got it. For some reason, I left that conversation thinking that at some point when Kirk is a lieutenant, who we see now in Strange New Worlds that he's not teaching at the academy as a
Yes.
lieutenant. I thought he was teaching at the academy. He was at the academy. Well, then why does he say you got to worry about Lieutenant Kirk's class? That was the line that threw me off.
I mean, it's still possible that they were in the academy together and he could have graduated before him.
And then taught at the academy as a lieutenant?
I don't know. Granted, like I didn't pick up on the fact that he even taught at the academy. So
I mean, I'm sure people are pulling their hair out because we could just go in memory alpha and see if he ever taught at the academy, but I like it better this way because it makes the episode sound more clunky, which it deserves because they wrote this terribly. The writing in
I
this episode
mean,
is terrible.
I mean,
The dialogue, I should say, at least, is terrible. So Gary is reading Spinoza, who I guess is a philosopher. Um, Gary belittles it and doesn't elaborate on why. Uh, Kirk says that dinner is going to keep an eye on him because Kirk has no judgment.
none whatsoever. None, and that's not the first time he does that.
Oh, that's true.
And it's not the. I mean, I meant to say this is not the last time that he does that.
This is not the last time he does it. Yeah, this happens again.
This
I
happens
didn't even pick up on that.
again. Like he didn't learn from the first time.
Like, oh, that woman that you openly tried to make a pass at
Mm-hmm.
on the bridge that we all heard and saw what you said about it. She's going to keep an eye on you now that you seem to be exhibiting higher level intellect and
Not
things
only
like
that,
that.
that other engineering guy that comes in later to check up
Kelso.
on Gary, yeah, like he saw them getting very close intimately. Like he didn't say nothing to Kirk.
Yeah, they were interrupted. It felt like they were about to.
Oh,
There was gonna be some hanky panky.
oh, it was about to get on.
Like,
It was about to get on. She wasn't pulling away. She she wasn't at all like, no, I don't want this to happen. It was some
Yeah,
stuff about to go down if what's name didn't come in that room.
but you got to watch those dashing first officers with those mental health professionals. They just I don't know. They just find each other in
Yeah,
Starfleet.
that doesn't happen all the time.
So Kirk lets Dinner keep an eye on him because he's stupid this episode. Gary pushes back and is like, I want a different woman to watch after me specifically. He's like, of all the women on this ship, you get the one that I could
Yeah,
most likely have sex with.
yeah. I put on here.
Rather
Mitchell
than
doesn't like the doctor. No,
and
no.
then he kind of low key threatens Kirk.
She says something to him that I thought was very weird for a woman to say. Uh,
It's coming up.
okay, you got that. All right.
Well, I don't have exactly what she says, but the moment that you're referring to is coming up in just a second.
Okay.
Um, so Gary's voice echoes when he threatens Kirk, and he starts speed reading. Because Kirk goes to the bridge and he's like speed reading, and then he looks like right at the camera. He breaks the fourth wall, but like on the Enterprise. And then I have a note here where this reminds me, and we don't have to like delve into it, but this reminds me of the episode where Barclay got super smart on TNG,
Yes. Yes.
and it starts scaring everyone.
Yes. That's actually really good. Good.
Yeah,
Good point out.
Thanks.
and that could be where they got the motivation for that Barkley episode as well.
It could be.
And
Also,
one of the things I
mhm.
do need to point out, I got in my notes. I came with the old library newspaper projector screen.
I wondered if one of us was going to say anything about that.
Like, I can't. I
It
can't.
definitely
I'm
looks like the little thing with the wheel, right? That
yeah,
like you
yeah,
run the film through.
yeah. When you like look at old newspaper articles from like way back in the day when you try to research crap.
Yeah. You know, I actually had to use one of those back when I was a first year lawyer. They sent me to the State Library and Archives back when it was on. Sorry, y'all, this is a very Tennessee coded conversation. Back when it was still downtown and not in Bicentennial Mall.
Uh-huh.
And I had to pull up, I can't remember what I was researching, but I had to pull up something that was on I think they call it the microfiche. I think is what it's called.
Hmm.
And I had to find a thing on it and like write down what it was and go back and write it on a memo. I mean, it makes me sound like I'm 155 years old, but I
It
swear
does
to you
sound. It
all that I
sounds
had to do
old as
that.
hell, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I wish I could remember what it was I was researching that I had to go. But I think it had something to do like one of the few times I was doing research on like a litigation matter, like a slip and fall or something like. I don't remember, but like yeah, I had to like go to the State Library and Archives. They were the only ones who had it. I had to pull out the microfiche and and
Yeah.
find what I was looking for and write down the site and go back and write a memo about it. It was wild.
This I will point out that this scene um, does a lot to make you understand Gary as a character, and then to show like I will honestly say that this is one of the things they do good within the episode of like actually like making you understand Gary, like get to the root of who the type of person that he is, and
Okay, go
then
ahead.
seeing how he is changing Be- because of the
Yeah.
stuff, the stories that he's pointing out, the fact that he is like, yeah, he says he doesn't want the doctor there, but he still finds her oddly attractive. So,
Oh yeah.
so he does want her, but she's being very standoffish. So he's just like, oh, I mean, since you're being that way,
Well,
I'm
she
gonna be
gets a
that way.
lot. So the thing that you were going to point out earlier, I think the only line I have from it is dinner and Mitchell have some dialogue. But in that dialogue, like she warms up to him pretty quickly. Like she throws the line about being a walking freezer unit, which is has to be 60s talk. I've never heard anyone say that
She
before in my entire life.
she
She
said in the scene verbatim,
okay.
women professionals do tend to overcompensate.
Oh, I
I
forgot she said that.
I heard it and I was like, wait, what? And I rewinded, and whenever you rewind, like at least I don't know if it happens on your how you watch Paramount, but when you rewind on like I got Apple TV, when you rewind on Apple TV, it automatically puts up subtitles for the next like 20 seconds.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah, which is very convenient for stuff like this. Because then I could like, did he or she just say exactly what I think they just said? And then when you do it and get the subtitle, you're like, yeah. So that's how I got the full lie.
Oh, I forgot she said that. That is a tough line.
Yes, for a woman to say.
She's she was basically like, well, I was just being, I was just doing my job,
Oh,
but
I
I
was
really knew on the inside
basically the way that I took
that,
it is like I'm just being over emotional, like the stereotype of like how
which
women are
is
portrayed in corporate America.
which is something they actually do in this episode, and then I think they kind of walk it back a little bit, but like they absolutely play her as like the emotional
Yes,
woman
yes,
in scenes that are coming up that she is like her whole thing is to be emotionally on Gary's side because she thinks ESP is fine, and she kind of wants to do some stuff with him in his quarters and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So like they definitely play her up as like the overly emotional thing. To your point, good catch from when she makes this comment about being a woman professional, which is sexism.
Yes, 100%. No
Oh,
sugarcoating. No getting around that. No, there's no other way you can take this. No, that was definitely sexism.
100%. Oh, also, I learned something just yesterday. I last week we were talking about the sexism in Star Trek, and we
Mm-hmm.
said that we're not pick me's. And I have learned since then that pick me is more of like a term for women who are like trying to attract men by agreeing with like some trash opinions.
Yes.
Apparently, what we're not is performative males.
Yes. Yes. I mean, wouldn't that be along the same lines of a pick me? Because most pick me's, like, because
Same.
you can do the pick me's in any type of situation, really. Because you got pick me's when it comes to political stuff too.
I think so too. Like, I mean, it's pop culture, trendy talk and things like that. But
Yeah.
I was kind of bringing that up in case if anyone was listening last week and they're like, well, men aren't pick me's. That's a women thing. Well, now I know the
Well,
term.
man can be pick me's too.
Yeah, it's the exact same stuff. If you're a performative female, pick me. If you're a performative male, pick
Okay.
me, right? And to your point, it could apply to anything else that you're being performative in. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, like, I
It's
was watching something and they kind of drew that line that it needed to be one or the other, but I just wanted to bridge the terminology gap if there was one.
you don't truly believe in this, but you're only saying or doing this to be within what's known as the in crowd for this particular situation.
Exactly.
So, like a black man really being really trying to be really cool with a racist person, and they're only there because that racist person can give them
Kanye
like
West.
certain accesses most that they can't get from anywhere else. So they're just like, hey, I'll drink the Kool Aid. I'll drink the Kool Aid, sir. I'll
Candace Owens. Oh, sorry. Man.
oh,
Sorry, I'm getting some dust in my
excuse you,
apartment or something.
excuse you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you get the, get some cleaners to come over.
Jason
No,
was like,
yeah,
sorry, y'all.
yeah, whatever you say, sir. Yep, that's exactly us, sir. Yes. Granted,
Yeah, she.
also in the black community, we would call that Uncle Tom.
We got some things we would say, but that's a different episode. I'm sure it's going to happen.
Oh, 100%. I think I got that in a string trip. Now that I can think of it.
Yep. Just a quick thing. I'm gonna need to take a break here and a couple, but I'm gonna try and get us to the end of this next paragraph.
Okay.
So dinner and Mitchell have some dialogue. We talked about it. I think she's supposed to be warming up to him, but it comes off extremely sexist. Gary seems to be able to control the medical equipment,
Yes.
and then he fakes like he's not alive, and then he
Yeah.
just comes back after scaring her. And then Gary makes a very strong advance on dinner that appears to be working, and then Kelso shows
Yes.
up.
Kelso, is it? I thought his last name was Lee. I think I put it in my notes, Lee.
I thought his first name was Lee.
Okay, it could be. Because he said, because he tells him about the whole thing dealing with the impulse drive
And
assembly.
Gary, to your point of showing what his character is like, he gets very serious about that. Like,
Very serious. I'm not
you
joking,
missed
Lee.
this. Yeah. That's when I realized he was the first officer.
Mm. So this is gonna make me want to go back through Memory Alpha just to double check. Like, was he considered the first officer in this episode, or
It would know.
okay, keep
Uh,
going.
so he's not a department head because we saw all of them, even the one that Sulu's in charge of that we don't know what it is, come up and report on. And he can boss Kelso around. And I'm just like, oh, this dude is second in command because he's like, hey, go fix that thing, you MFer, before we all blow up. Is how he said it. That's not what he said.
In a certain way, that's how he said it.
Yeah, and he kind of explains to Dinner what should have been uh, an issue in her mind, but according to the script, she's not thinking with her mind anymore. Like, I don't know what's going on.
In
She
Memory
could be impacted by
Alpha,
the,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
well, prelude to later. I think there's a chance she's being more slowly impacted by the unnatural force or
Yes.
whatever
Yes, that's what
it
they're
was,
alluding
unknown
to.
force. Yeah, so like before she had it all together, but now it's slowly impacting her. But in the moment, it just feels like straight up sexism because it's also written that way.
Yes.
But it seems to be indicating that her getting more emotional and more aligning with Gary is the unknown. Well, let's take a moment. It's referred to in future episodes as strange energies, but I don't think they call it strange energy here. But the strange energies is having a slower effect on her.
Interesting. Well, Memory Alpha does state that he's a helmsman. They don't necessarily say that he's the first officer.
Oh, that's interesting. Maybe because he's so Riker coded in my mind and is able to boss around people and is a higher rank
I mean, he
of
is
most people.
lieutenant commander, so no telling like that. Lee could have been like just a lieutenant. We don't know because the stripes are off,
Right.
but like he could have been just a lieutenant. So,
And people are holding hands on the bridge. Maybe the whole hierarchy is just totally off.
oh, completely destroyed. Okay, the doctor's name
Yeah.
is Dr. Elizabeth Denner. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I caught that. I have missed something in my notes, and I'm not sure what it is. Or maybe it just hard cut to there being a staff meeting
Mm-hmm.
where all the men are talking about what's going on with Mitchell. Um, and then Dinner is late because she was observing, if you could see me, air quotes, Mitchell for a little bit too long. Um, and she's late. This is where the first time I really noticed where I'm like, I don't totally know where this episode's fit. Kirk doesn't refer to Spock as a Vulcan. He's just like an alien. And then Dinner gets really emotional in defending
Yes.
Mitchell, and she's also the only woman in the room doing that. So there's no other way to read that all the men are the ones that understand and can control the situation or are being rational, and
Mm-hmm.
then she's going to be overly emotional. But then they also ding Spock for not being emotional. I have
Well,
no idea what they're trying to say
a lot of
outside
stuff
of
was
we should be
done.
sexist.
A lot of stuff was said in this scene, and like a number of things was Spock's lines. Uh,
Yes.
he stated we would not be only useless to him, but also an annoyance. So he was pointing out how Gary's getting to the point of omnipotence that he would look at regular humans as just an annoyance, not necessarily like a, someone that's on his level.
And this is where the episode starts to get really off for me with Spock, given that this has to fit somewhere between the Pike Spock that we
Mm-hmm.
see and future
Mm-hmm.
Spock that we see with Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically like, all right, look, we got two options. We can unalive him, or we can strand him at Delta Vega.
He said we
That's
will
it.
never make it to a starbase with him. I was like, dang, Spock.
Spock acts more like a young Worf. Not even
Yes, yes, yes,
like season 1, season 2
yes.
Worf. Then he acts like Spock in this episode.
You are
Because I'm
completely
like,
correct.
it's pretty bold to suggest euthanasia to begin with. And then also, this dude can read minds at this point. So
They
he
don't. They
knows
don't know fully. They don't know fully.
Oh, okay. We know he can read minds because of the episode, because of the thing with Kelso. He says that, but you're right. Spock doesn't know that dude is reading his mind. Uh, whew. I just don't understand because Spock is the science officer. He is not trying to figure anything out.
Well,
He's basically like, you know what we should do? We should just cap him.
The
right
main
now.
thing, I think, the main thing that they were trying to do with the scene, with how Spock was comparatively so, uh, I think, I think it was okay from a 60 standpoint. This doesn't really matter.
Heavy sigh.
Yeah, I have to like I'm trying to be fair. I really am, but it's just like the sexism part of this is like really getting to me. Uh, like I guess in the '60s this is something that wouldn't really matter, but the fact that uh, the point of this scene was to show how Spock is a logical thinker and how Vulcans. Well, they haven't even said that he's a Vulcan, have they? They
Yeah,
probably
I don't
said
think
that in
they
one of
know
the
that he's a
previous.
Vulcan, quite frankly.
Yeah, I don't think they said his species, but they're saying like he's a different species that doesn't really adhere to human emotions, even though like earlier within the episode he
He was
did
yelling at people.
show a lot of human emotion. But that's besides the fact. That's besides the fact. So he's saying that he's thinking logically and not emotionally. But the sad part about that is that he's saying that to a female. So it's like
The only woman in the room.
exactly. So it's like because I'm a male, I'm thinking logically, but because you're a female, you're not. Like it's just like, dude, bruh. Like this could have been written differently, and but also at the same time, Kirk does put things into perspective of what he is supposed to be doing as a captain because he's like, look, I take everything that everyone says into account, and my number one duty is to the ship and the people on board the ship. So I'm going to make the best possible decision that makes sure that like the rest of the people stay alive, regardless of if it's like one person that dies or not.
Right.
So I understood the nature of the scene. It's just
Okay.
from our standpoint, it was written like,
Yeah, it's tough. And also, there's another problem in this scene. And I'm going to say this and then I need to take a break for various
okay,
reasons. My controller needs to charge up a little bit as well before it cuts out on you. So, they're going to Delta Vega.
mm-hmm,
We've already established that we're outside of the galaxy.
mm-hmm.
Delta Vega has a lithium mine on it. So, do they leave the galaxy all the time? Like,
I don't,
why is there a
I
lithium mine? Also, they almost got unalived, and the ship almost blew up by them trying to get here. But there's a lithium mine on Delta Vega, and also we can strand Gary Mitchell there if we need to, and not worry about it. Um, help.
that was I don't I don't understand the whole plan here of what they were going to do. Like, are we leaving him here and then getting some other ship to come like monitor him like while he's like I don't
They seem to suggest that they can strand Gary Mitchell on this planet, and it'd be tantamount to just pulling out a nine and capping him, right? Like it's the same thing because it's that cruel. That's how they react
uh-huh.
to the plan. But then there's like facilities on it because we've
Yeah.
been here before and we're getting lithium. And conveniently, we need lithium because that was the thing that got messed up when we flew through the barrier that I guess we got to fly back through to get back to where we're going. I don't to get back to the
I
galaxy.
don't I don't I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they flew through the barrier. They and really and I think they're interchanging barrier with anomaly cuz
Oh no, I think I might be saying barrier because no, they
okay.
went through. Oh, that's right, because they withdrew from it. So wait, did they leave the galaxy or not?
No, cuz they went in and then all that stuff happened they pretty much turned around.
Oh, okay. So that's on me. I missed that we didn't leave the galaxy
I mean, granted, like
because we
their
couldn't make it through
terminology
the
is not
barrier.
exactly succinct.
So what?
Granted, their terminology is not exactly succinct. So
The dialogue is challenged in this
yeah,
episode. So okay, so Delta Vega is in the galaxy that Starfleet is in and can get to, and we're going to Delta Vega because if we leave Gary Mitchell there, then we're good. That's the way I understand it. Or we could cap him.
yep,
We could airlock him, I
yep,
guess.
yep. All facts.
Which even for me, and you refer to me as gung ho at times, I'm still not at the point where I'm like, wait, I don't. Why our only options is to strand him or airlock him or cap him or like like science officer? I need more facts before I just decide
So
that
that's funny,
we're just gonna
cause
off this fool. Like
cause
what's going on?
I'm on the other side of this one for once.
What? If there was one time I thought we'd be on the same side of what to do in a situation like, because with
um,
Charlie X, I was like, and this is the part of the episode where I airlock him. You're like, I'm not ready to airlock him like yet. And with Gary Mitchell, I'm like, can we get more facts, or is my truly only option just to airlock him? And you're like, yeah, we're good to airlock him.
think about it. Think about it like this. Think about it like this, Patrick. All right, you got your boy that you grew up with that knows every good and bad thing about you, and he is now omniscient and can really do anything. At this point, I'm like thinking, oh no, I gotta off this fool. I'm sorry.
Wow.
He knows too much. He knows too much.
But we've already established it's the what is in
So
the future going to be called strange energies
that's
that's
a
causing him to do. So he's not under his own
that's a joke.
mind.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
Okay, good.
I would be along the side of with Spock though, erring on the side of caution because he has shown a lot at this point that he can be very dangerous. And then we know we don't fully know what happened with the last ship, but we have a good idea at this point of what happened to the last ship. So the main thing that I'm thinking about is, well, that ship ended up getting destroyed in the end. I don't want that same thing to happen to my ship. So I would probably go to the exile option.
Well, but the explorer mystery scientist person in me, and maybe I'm the dumb captain of the Valiant. I would want my science officer to be like, can you give me a couple of hypotheses on what you think is happening, if we can cure him, if we can save him, before I'm like, all right, yeah, let's strand him on the dilithium mine that apparently we need to have anyways, but we'll just leave this most dangerous person we've ever met
I mean,
at it.
but it goes back to that whole thing that says like absolute power corrupts absolutely. So it's like any one of us would be drunk off of power if we gained it in such a short time like that. And it would be
Well,
hard for us to not think straight. I mean, like even me, I'm using myself as an example. Like I think of myself as a righteous person and won't really do anything that's like beyond the pale of like being like wrong or anything. But if I had powers to that degree that Gary had, I would probably be thinking about like the quote unquote good that I could do with said powers. But if I told you what I could do for good, you'd be like, Dante, you, you sure you want to go that direction with this?
um,
Because
I
think about
guess,
it,
but you have a scientific mystery on your hands is
I do.
my issue, and you're an explorer on a scientific vessel, even if you're not um, like I'm not a science officer, but I'd still kind of be like, um, like, well, we got to figure out what's going on with Gary before we decide we have to euthanize him or not.
But I think by this
Like,
point that they've already determined what's going on with him.
well,
Like
but also
he has a
they
strong
seem to,
amount of ESP that he and like he's able to do like things that none of us can do, which is actually really scary. And we don't know his full motivations. I want to believe that my boy is still my boy in there, but I also have to err on the side of that he could have been overtaken by some entity that's like acting like him and probably has something nefarious that he wants to do to the ship.
Okay, we're gonna have to finish this on the other side of our break
Okay.
because this episode's gone way longer than I thought it would,
I told you. I
as
told you.
always.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment. All right, we are back. So we are finishing up with season one, episode four, where no man has gone before of the original series of Star Trek. So let's go ahead and bring this to its conclusion so we can give the good people our ratings.
Yep, and stop recording up. Are we over 2 hours?
Yes.
Okay, well, we're going to speed run this because, well, that's the thing I've noticed about these TOS episodes. They're pretty front loaded and all the like weird, horrible stuff,
Yes,
and
they
then it just
do
like
tend to
ends.
wrap it up quicker than setting up everything.
Yeah. So they show that Gary has telekinesis, which I will note this as a positive for this episode. They have shown his power set layering, so you understand what he can do and that it's escalating.
Hmm.
It's actually a pretty decent ticking clock, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's
Even
actually a
though you
really
don't
good
know,
ticking clock. Yeah.
yeah, even though you don't totally know when it's going to run out, but like they didn't do that in the man trap, and I was just like, why don't they do this every episode? Um,
Or that one Strange New World episode where we had 8 ticking clocks going on at once. But we're not going
oh
to talk
my
about that.
god. Yeah, well, yep. That's for another day that we did. They subdue Gary and they take him to the planet. They take him to the mine, and I cannot understand if the idea was to strand him on the planet. Why did you take him to where everybody else? Why didn't you take him to the other side of the planet?
That's the
And then,
part that I don't understand.
oh,
Like,
okay, you caught. I'm
I
sorry
clocked
to
that
beat you
too.
to it. I
If
didn't. Okay.
remember when I said this before our break, that I was just like, I don't understand like what their whole plan was
What the plan was?
when they got him
Okay.
there. I thought it was just like maroon him, he's there, we out. But
Oh.
they were doing stuff.
Well, they needed the one of the things I guess I didn't pick up in my notes, but I just kind of remember. They need the lithium from the mine. This is why I don't understand where they're at. I don't
Yes.
want to have this conversation again.
Yeah.
But they need the lithium from the mine to get back into the space where they can contact Starfleet, which is why I thought they had left the galaxy. They need the lithium to get back through the galaxy because it got damaged when they left the galaxy. But to your point, they didn't leave, they withdrew. They were just effed up
Yeah.
from Jesus. Okay,
It
I'm
doesn't
not
make
doing this.
sense.
No, it doesn't.
Damn it,
It does not. I don't understand what's
that just
happening.
dropped my rating. I was kind of hoping you would be able to explain that to me.
I can't figure out what's happening. And at some point, Kirk, I don't know if it's this scene or in a future scene, I didn't make a note. He says something like, we only come out here every 20 years for this lithium anyways. And I'm like,
What?
it's
What's this? What?
like, what are we doing?
What
You're
are
going to
we?
leave Gary Mitchell here? So in 20 years, you can show back
Yeah.
when he can
So,
just
what
melt
about in
people with
20
his
years when you
mind?
do need this lithium, dilithium? Is it dilithium or just lithium? Like, when we do come here, oh, you know what? Don't mind Gary. He's just here. He's
Yeah, he's
like
good.
the old person that's been living here forever. Get the lithium, and you can.
We left him here decades ago, and he has godlike powers and probably isn't sane anymore, but we're fine. Because Spock, as science officer, decided not to figure out what was going on with him so we could cure
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. No. We can keep in mind, Spock acts like a G this whole episode. I do want to keep pointing this out. Like I have to point out, like if you put a do rag on Spock during this episode, I would have believed it because he
Give
is
him a
like,
black and mild.
man, what he is a G the whole time.
He 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 gets the gat, stays strapped. Like,
I was waiting for you to get there because the next scene.
oh wait, I think I missed it. Oh yeah, we missed the first one you were talking about because when they try to subdue him in sickbay the first time, Spock has what you're right, like
Okay, I think I missed that part. I don't think I remember if he had
because
that at that time.
Spock shows up in sick bay. He has a phaser on him and tries to use it. Is that the part you're talking
I
about?
think so. The part that I remember fully is when it was like it was him, uh, Dr. Donner, and Kirk, and like he just comes in with with the rifle like in hand, like this is
Oh yeah, we haven't gotten to the.
like this
Oh,
is
okay, I know what part
normal.
you're. Yeah, we. Darn it, we'll be there. We'll be there in just a second. Because
Okay.
here's the thing: Kirk orders Kelso to build it a self-destruct switch to
Uh
blow
huh.
up the whole mine
Uh huh.
that we need once every 20 years for lithium. It's not dilithium. I think it is lithium, um,
Because
which
if
is
he gets
in all
out,
of our phones.
he's commanded to pretty much hit that button.
Pretty much. Like he was basically like, if Gary gets out and it looks like it's the last chance to stop him, blow this whole thing up.
You hit the
Because he's
button.
drawing a parallel
Hmm.
between Kirk and the captain of the Valiant.
Yeah.
Let's see. Gary tests the force field and gets drained of his powers for a little bit, and that's when he's like back to Gary. He loses his power and he's like,
Hmm.
"Huh? What's going on?" That's when I started feeling really bad for him, and the fact that no one's actually trying to figure out what's going on with him, because I'm like, so if
You're
you just
thinking
take the
there's a way
power
they
away,
can
he
actually
just
like take the power away from him.
save him. Yeah.
I would probably be
Uh,
along the sides that he's probably too far gone, but I get where you're coming from though.
yep, we had that conversation before the break. I get it. Somehow, in this instance,
It's
I'm the
it's
one that's like,
it's funny. It's funny, ain't it? I'm with Spock. No,
I'm
I'm with G coming in with the rifle and everything. Like Spock, maroon this motherfucker on this planet.
and this is the part that you want to refer to because this is what I was saying. It was escalating. When he came to sickbay, he just had like a regular phaser on him. At this point, the ship is being repaired successfully because Scotty's in charge, so we got this.
Yeah.
And in my notes, all it says, and Spock gets a bigger gun because Scotty's like, "Did you get the phaser rifle that we beamed down?" And he's like, "What?" And then Spock shows up out of nowhere with like a phaser M16.
I have in my notes Spock got that gat. Spock went out like, look, I ain't playing anymore. I'm getting the biggest
Spock's like,
gun we have in our armory, and I'm bringing this down.
he's like, "Look, I had two recommendations: we strand him or we unalive him, and we ain't stranded him yet because he's at the mining facility. So
So,
we keeping all the options at play." And I, as a captain, would be like, "Well, can't you figure out what's going on with him so we can heal him?" And Spock would be like, "You see this phaser rifle? It's getting used today."
I didn't bring this out for nothing. All right, like I'm firing this at somebody. Okay,
I had to ask Scotty for this. Apparently, we just don't issue these. So,
look, either Gary's getting this or you are, Captain. I'm just putting it out there. Just putting it out there.
so my problem with logic versus emotion in the way it's portrayed in this episode
Uh-huh.
is that it takes ethics totally out of the equation.
Completely.
Nothing that Spock
Completely.
is doing is ethical. This
No,
whole
not at all.
episode.
Not even a little bit.
So
It
I'm
is
just like,
okay. The way that he is acting though is like, if I'm being real,
okay,
it's along the sides of a military organization and what they would think in this situation. The
oh,
we don't know how much powerful this person can become. We have like been seeing his powers get exponentially stronger and stronger and stronger. It's going to come to a point where we're not going to be able to contain him or whatnot. So
mm-hmm,
we need to do what's necessary to make sure that we don't die. So that was Spock's idea of marooning him. But
got it.
it's
Okay,
just going about this and how they did it is the confusing part.
very. No, but you know what? You're 100% correct. Actually helps the episode a little bit if I think of this as a military
Mm-hmm.
and not as him as a Starfleet science officer, and he's just observing like, hey, the predator is either dangerous or he's not dangerous to
Mm-hmm.
us. And if they're dangerous to us, then this is the way that we go, and I can recognize them as a predator that way, and that's all the scientific reasoning you do.
Yes.
Makes perfect sense what he's doing.
So that's the point of his reasoning, and it almost makes me happy that we didn't rewatch this episode before we did our Lost episode of
Right.
whether Starfleet is a military organization or not, because you could
Mm-hmm.
have definitely used this and it would have completely shut down anything that I had. Like,
And my argument would have been a lot harsher than what it was.
true, true. And,
If I had access to this or had remembered that this is how this episode was. You're
and it would
correct.
have been
Yeah, you're
fair.
good.
It would have been fair, completely fair. The only thing I could be like was, God damn it! Like it's the only thing I can do in that situation. It's just like, uh, but
Right.
Kirk was trying to get everybody's explanation here. That's the only thing I can go towards to like try to mouth this down.
Yeah,
And then
because
you
they
could
are
just be
acting
like,
weird,
but
weird.
what did Kirk ultimately do though? Like, darn it, we should have asked that question.
Oh, Kirk did refer to himself as a soldier, so we don't totally get all of this out of here.
It was still early on in Star Trek. That's what I'm saying. That's my rebuttal.
Yep. Well, I mean, and we've had other episodes. Well, your biggest redeeming episode didn't happen before the last episode because the What is Starfleet episode would have helped your argument out as much as this episode would have helped my argument out.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I think it would have balanced. Basically, you still should have given me the tougher argument, though.
I should have. Uh, I'm glad. I'm kind of glad the episode's lost in a way.
Well, now I got a whole conspiracy. Is the episode lost or is it just on your
or did I
laptop?
delete it? Who
I know,
knows?
right?
Who knows, Patrick? Did you two screw up, or did I do? Did I do that?
I might have to talk to the judge about this one. Next court episode needs to be on a neutral platform.
Darn it, I can't host it.
Exactly. So after we see, I feel like I missed some stuff, but I don't know what I missed because I think I was getting tired of this episode.
I'm about to say a lot of the stuff at this point. I did too. I did start to clock out a bit when we got to this part of it because I'm at the point where it's just like, dude, get to the point and just end this.
Yeah, everything feels kind of dumb. I think the part that I missed is where Denner gets left in charge again of Mitchell, and they have a whole thing with
like,
Mitchell.
what was that, Kirk? We. He has zero perception in this episode. Like he doesn't perceive and how she is reacting to him. And when she says, I'll take the first go, I would have been like, absolutely not, doctor.
Right.
Absolutely not.
So yeah, you're
Spock
you're not thinking with your professional brain.
Yeah. Oh, you're like Spock with the gat. No, you're in here first. All right.
Exactly. Because whatever happened in there, yeah, I got tired of the episode at some point because I skipped over some stuff. There was some drama around being around him in his cage, and then he unalives Kelso with his telekinetic.
With his
He just, which was brutal because he just garrots him with like a wire that's on the ground. I'm like, yeah, I'm like that was vicious.
Then he gets down on my counter as well. My
gold shirt.
Yeah, yep. Gold shirt. Yeah.
Then he releases himself, and then he and Dinner both have the glowing eyes now. Mm-hmm. So they're meant to be with each other. I guess. I don't know. That's not really in my notes. I just said that, and I don't know. It's after 11 o'clock Eastern, so maybe maybe I'm losing it. Um,
I mean, you're at the same
then
point in the episode where you're just like, let's just get this over with. So,
reading it again is just as painful as watching it. Like, at this point, I'm like so over it.
we are
Where I'm
definitely not
like,
giving this any higher than the Chateau Picard. I think at this point, I think it's pretty obvious at this point.
at this point, I'm like, can the Borg attack? That would be cool.
Q. Can he
You,
can he come out of nowhere? At
please
least that'll make
save
this
me
more
from this
interesting
episode.
than what the hell is going on right now.
Pretty much. So he and Dinner got glowing eyes now, and Kirk decides to go after him alone. That's right, because he knocks Spock and Kirk out again, I think,
Yes.
for the second time in the episode.
Yes.
And the Doctor revives Kirk, and he's like, "Give me a minute to get away from here," and then revive Spock because I'm going after these people alone. They're my problem. I gotta do
And,
this. He
and
also
if
was
you don't
like,
hear
if
from
I'm
me
not.
after a certain amount of time, like, did he say something like nuke the area or something like that?
Oh, I got you, man. I wrote this down specifically because I thought everything he said was wild. First off, he says, if you don't hear back from me in 12 hours,
That's a
12 of them
long
things.
time. That is a long time.
12 hours from now, I'm going to be thinking about what I should eat for lunch tomorrow. And that's
Wow.
when Kirk is like, also, we're concerned about how fast Gary Mitchell's powers are growing, and we got 2 Gary Mitchells on our hands. And he's like, give me 12 hours to sort this. I would have been like, what?
What? You need to
Dude,
give me
you
like
got
shorter time frame than that, Captain.
you got 15 minutes.
You know? You know what? I'll give you an hour. How about that? That's more than enough.
I don't know. Gary Mitchell's pretty powerful at this point. Like, you might have, honestly, you might have 10 minutes. You are wasting your time. You need to get going.
Stop talking to me. Go.
Yeah, exactly. And he said,
Oh my god.
I don't think he said Starfleet, but he said have command or something like that.
Yeah, he said command.
Oh, okay. Hit the planet with deuteron radiation.
Something like that. I took it as a nuke. That's the way I took it.
Well, no, I specifically went back to make sure I caught what he said. It was deuteron radiation, is what he said hit him with. And I was like, what? The
I
place
think
they only go every 20 years, they're going to hit it with deuteron radiation? What is deuteron
well,
radiation?
well,
No context.
there is a very strong human being on this planet, so you want to hit it with the strongest thing that you have. Now,
Is
I don't know if neutron
And that's
radiation
deuteron
is.
radiation?
I mean,
Why didn't we use deuteron radiation against the Borg?
okay, so neutron radiation. I put it up in Wikipedia, by the way.
It's not neutron, it's deuteron. With a D.
Deuteron, not
Yeah.
neutron, but deuteron
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
D.
D. Yeah. At
Okay,
least
then
that's
I don't
what
know
Paramount
what the
Plus
hell
said
it
it
is.
was.
Now, if we're talking about neutron with the N as in Nancy, it states that it's a form of ionizing radiation that presents as free neutrons. Typical phenomena are nuclear fission or nuclear fusion, causing the release of free neutrons. So, like, you can still get a nuclear reaction from neutron radiation. But deuteron,
I'm gonna Google it. I'm curious enough now.
there-
Maybe Paramount Plus got it wrong because I had
I'm pretty sure they made this up.
It's trying. I'm googling this. It's trying to bring up Deuteronomy, which is hilarious.
I'm
Would anyone like for me to start reading from the Bible? Let's see.
I'm getting Deuton radiation. I am getting.
Paramount Plus messed this up. I fully believe that. Thank you, Paramount Plus, for.
I mean, it could. Well, hold up. Wait. I think I've stumbled upon something. Uh,
Oh, there are deuterons. Oh, I'm misspelling it. Anyone hoping to get a chemistry lesson today, a
I mean,
theoretical physics
we
lesson
have
today?
pointed out our fields. I mean, physics. And we are not
Deuterons.
in physics or nuclear technology. We are not in any of that. So
Do we need to find a third person to film with us? Deuterium
that that's
radiation. That sounds
that's
easy.
smarter than two of us. Sounds like it.
Deuteron radiation isn't a single type of emission. It refers to the okay.
Are you getting the
Okay.
spelling of that Dutton?
It's Deuteron.
Wow, that okay.
The funny thing is usually Google Gemini puts up something that makes sense to me, and it starts with its paragraph. This is the first time I've ever searched, and it started with a
Uh huh.
picture of what it thinks I wanted to see. And I'm like, I don't know if that's it either. What am I talking about? What was Kirk talking about? Wait, also, this is the 60s. Like, this is just techno babble, right? It may be based in something, but like, he's like hit the planet. Like, I guess if you were watching this, you're like, oh, he said hit the planet with something, and that something would end everything on the planet, is I
Yes,
guess.
yes. He was basically saying like hit this with the strongest whatever we have.
Oh my god.
I mean, we just determined that sounds like something that is real. That he didn't just like come up with anything like off the top of their head. So
Deuterons consist of two hydrogen nuclei, one proton, and one neutron.
crazy.
I don't understand. It sounds like if you get next to this thing, though, you're going to get some type of super C word disease.
Oh, you're gonna get destroyed.
that's
You're gonna
that's
get
not
utterly
going to be good
destroyed.
for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Any whoozleby. I only got three more paragraphs of three more lines before we're done with this episode. So let's march through it.
Hmm.
So Mitchell has escaped with dinner. They start making the planet habitable, growing fruits and vegetables, very Garden of Eden coded, because there's a lot of religious talk in this that is the one
Oh, I
way or
missed
another.
that.
Yeah, it's all about what you were saying, like the absolute power corrupts absolutely,
Corruption,
the
absolutely.
godlike
Yeah.
powers, all that stuff. They're like, we
Hmm.
know that Star Trek isn't like VeggieTales, right? Like it's not a Christian thing,
No,
but it's
no.
not
If anything,
necessarily anti-Christian
they're
either.
more
So,
atheist than anything. If I'm
right. So Kirk runs into dinner first. Why did I write this? I'm so. You gave me too much time to write notes on this episode, and then come back and read it.
you
I
watch
literally wrote, and they.
you watched this multiple times.
No, I only watched this once, but it was like a week ago. I wrote, and they have a chat. So there we go. And then Gary shows up. Kirk shoots him with a phaser rifle. It doesn't hurt him. And then Gary's gonna off Kirk. And then Dinner decides to save Kirk. This is
Hmm.
the climactic part. This is the action, I guess, that the cage was missing. They have an electric fight. Jesus. I didn't realize how sarcastic I am.
It's crazy. The stuff that happens in the last 5 to 10 minutes of this episode is like what?
But you know what's crazy? Or what's wild? I think
Uh-huh.
this fight is what sold NBC on it because they wanted more action, and this is the most action-packed part of the episode.
So
Like, there's no.
they wanted it to be crazy. Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, yeah. Like, there's very minimal mystery. Like, the cage was a mystery. There was like, what is going on? Who's doing what? And the only action was them blowing up that door and not realizing that they did it.
Yeah.
Here, it's like the mystery stops at some point, and Kirk's like, "All right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go shoot him up."
the cage was more on the scientific, more scientific than anything,
Mm-hmm.
and there was barely any action. Like in this one, you got like them fighting and everything, the double fist punch and all that stuff. So
Yeah. What's funny is that Gary gets depowered during this fight at some point, which they established earlier means he's regular Gary. And Kirk just wails on him, gets his shirt ripped because you got to have a Kirk. I mean, you got
oh yeah,
ripped
yeah,
Kirk
yeah.
shirt. Like,
Anytime,
yeah,
anytime Kirk's fight, you gotta get the shirt ripped.
got to get the shirt ripped. Yep, shirt got ripped. And then Kirk used a boulder to crush Gary. And then dinner didn't make it because I guess Gary got her, and Kirk radios in. I guess in the nick of time. I'm just going to say that to make it more exciting. I don't know when in the 12 hours this happens.
Hour 8. He spent 7 hours sneaking. He spent 7 hours trying to get to them and sneaking and doing a terrible, crappy job at it, by the way.
Yes. They knew exactly where he was the whole time, basically. So.
The whole time.
Kirk makes a final log entry, and Spock says that he felt bad for Gary, too. They all feel bad for what happened to Gary.
Spock didn't feel bad for Gary.
Well, that's what he said, though. He said he was like, I felt for him, too.
Spock wanted to off Gary.
That's when Kirk was like, there might be some hope for you, Mr. Spock, because, you know, if you use logic too much, you're going to be an awful person, which... And that's it. That's how the episode is. Everything I have after in my notes right now is just my critical conversation about it. So
the whole point of Spock is that you can't be all of one way. You can't be too emotional. You can't be too illogical. You need a balance. That's the whole point of Spock, and like how he's half one, half the other, and like he's been trying to find like what's the right balance there for him to be the person that he should be. And that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people love the Spock character, is because of that duality. So it was a beginning of that, which, as far as a pilot episode, because we do have to look. Yes, it's a second pilot, but it's still a pilot episode. So we do have to put it along those lines as well. Most pilot episodes are not completely succinct. They're not. They do a pretty decent job of introducing the world, but not a good job of fleshing everything out because it's only a certain amount of time you can do that in. So they work with what they have, which is the best thing that I'm saying.
So I got a bit of a hot take here.
Okay.
I don't think it's a hot take. Well, no, it might be a hot take. I have a take here that that you may or may not agree with. I don't think I'm that angry about it. I think I was angrier about what I was talking about earlier, where you were like, was that a Four Lights moment? That probably should have been it.
That probably should have been a Four Lights moment.
But we'll substitute this. Maybe other people will be angry about this when they hear it. I think Lower Decks fixes this episode, oddly enough. Going back and watching the episode that references this. First off, they actually named the energies for the first time in canon that impacted Dinner and Gary Mitchell. Yeah. Because I don't think in the episode they call it strange energies, but it becomes strange energies in Lower Decks. And in Lower Decks, if you watch that episode, they actually treat it like a mystery because it happens to Ransom, so they're trying to figure out how to save Ransom. And they do it in a hilarious way. Mariner eventually starts kicking him in the balls over and over again. And that depowers him, and then their chief medical officer uses a forklift to throw a boulder on him because she's like, that's the way Kirk fixed it last time.
That's okay, so that scene is more funny to me now. The fact
Exactly.
I probably should have went back and rewatched that episode.
It was fun to rewatch, and I'm kind of like, yeah, this is how Starfleet officers would try to handle this situation. It's how the Enterprise crew tries to handle the situation on Barclay. They try to figure out what happened to him, and can we save him? Can we bring him back? Like, they don't just go like, all right, we can strand him, or we can off him.
True, but
That's it.
the conclusion that they came up with the what happened on the Next Generation was just it, the whole purpose of him having that knowledge was just to get them to that
It
sector.
resolved itself. They never
Yeah,
figured it out.
it
But that's
was
the
there.
risk
Yeah,
you're supposed to take.
they didn't fix him or anything. It was just like, oh, he's done what he needs to do. He doesn't have the powers anymore. Boom.
Yeah. And then in lower decks, they actually fix it because Ransom gets sent back to normal. They get the strange energies removed from
Hmm.
him, and figure it out. And so, like, I think if this, to your point, wasn't a pilot and in a more thought out world, that's how this episode would go. I see a better episode of Star Trek in this than the Star Trek I got, but it sold the NBC execs
It
on
did.
it because that's what they were looking for, I guess. Like, I don't understand, and I know I was kind of setting this up as a topic, and I've already spoiled it. I don't understand how you watch The Cage and watch this and think this is the better episode of Star Trek. The Cage clears this episode, in my opinion, in so many ways. So I'm just like thankful for this episode on so many levels and
Hmm.
glad it did whatever it needed to do to get Star Trek going so that even like next month we're going to be watching new Star Trek.
Hmm.
Um, but man,
Well,
I,
okay, so we do have to point out that like the heads of these studios are not necessarily um, the audience that's going to be watching this. Okay, so they think of it in a way of like analytics and probably feedback that they've gotten from other shows and all that stuff. So they're just trying to like find the show that people would actually want to watch so they can sell some
right,
commercials. Like that's really
right.
all they're looking for. They're not looking at this holistically like oh, is this something that I could actually watch it? And I think this is the better way of like pointing it out. You remember the part in the Temptations movie where
Okay,
Barry Gordon had like his team in and they were listening to
Gordy.
music.
Yeah,
Gordy, I'm sorry. Like they were listening to music
yeah. The hit
and
committee.
yeah, and they were just like, how many people like this? And some people rose their hands. It's like, if you only had $5 left, and you either wanted to buy this record or a sandwich, what would you buy? And they said the sandwich. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how we have to look at this from a corporate standpoint. Like you have the people that's just like looking at this and like, is this something that can be good enough that people will want to watch it and we can sell commercials off of?
Especially at the beginning of this, because Star Trek is very different sci-fi than what came before Star Trek.
Yeah,
And this episode of Star
yeah,
Trek, for the little bit of sci-fi I saw from like the 50s and early 60s, fit much more with it. They probably
yes,
watched this and was like, "Yeah, this is sci-fi. This is what you want." Whereas like the better episode, The Cage, was like future sci-fi where you have more ethics and mystery and more intelligent resolution to it versus what we got here. So
and
yeah, I see what you're saying.
this was in the infancy too. This was in the infancy of Star Trek. Star Trek wasn't even a thing then. So like
We didn't even have all three colors yet.
exactly. Like so we don't even know what this can become. But like when you look at it from a standpoint of Star Trek versus like Star Wars, you can definitely tell like the difference between the two. Star Wars, when they go to explaining stuff, a lot of that stuff is very shallow, and they don't go like full hardcore into explaining things unless you get into like the books or even like some of the animated series do like additional explaining. But it even took like a long time to get to that point. For the most part, George Lucas like kept everything as shallow as possible to give you just enough to understand this universe and have some like crazy shenanigans go on with it. Within Star Trek, it's more grounded in real life principles, uh, real life scientific possibilities, things of that concern. So a lot of the stuff that they say, they try to explain it more. Whereas like that's what you had in the cage. The cage, they were doing the explanation part that we're so used to as a Trek fandom. Like,
Mm.
we need the explanation to understand what the hell is going on. With this episode, I think they went more of the Star Wars track, where it's just like, we're just going to explain just enough to make it
Mm.
at least palatable to people. But that's not
Yeah,
really what I
and
want you
then
to
get
focus
them to
on.
the action.
Yeah, I want you to
Yeah,
focus on the action. Exactly. That's why you
which
had
there
the
were a
red
few
alert,
fights in
the
this
red alert
episode.
out of nowhere.
Oh yeah,
That's why you
yeah.
had in the beginning. You had the red alert out of nowhere. Then you had like the strangeness with Gary, and then Spock saying like in the very beginning that he wanted to off Gary. Like that's why you have a lot of this stuff that seems like it's out of the realm of the characters that we know and love now.
Gotcha, gotcha. The only your explanation was perfect. The only thing that confused me was there's a Star War. I'm not sure if I like. That's the only thing I'm missing. I don't quite understand. Like,
You know the other
anywho,
franchise. You know lightsabers.
oh,
That the way that people talk about which one's better.
oh, okay, okay, yeah. The one that has the sky dancers, the walk
Yeah,
skyers or
yeah,
something like
yeah, yeah.
that.
It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the blue walker or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, man,
Uh,
it's whatever. Nobody gives a
it's on tip of my tongue.
care.
We can probably Wikipedia it, but who cares?
Yeah, we can read about it at some point. The last point that I will make, because this episode went even longer than our regular episodes, which is amazing.
Every
Which I
time you
guess
say that, every time you say that this is not going to be that long, every time.
because nothing happens in a lot of these episodes,
But
and then we start reading it.
that's when we have the most to say. when there's
Apparently
nothing
so.
when there's nothing happening, we are like reaming every scene. Like
That is true.
we
That
are.
is true.
This part would have been longer if the two of us wasn't like, man. When we got to this part, we kind of like it. We were just ready for it to end. Like
Yeah,
literally, literally, our explanation of this episode happened the same way that the episode happened.
100%. I got to the point where I was like, I hope it ends soon. The last thing that I will say about it is Gary Mitchell's definitely proto Will Riker. He's a Darkest Timeline Will Riker because they bring this back up because at some point in season 1 or 2 of Star Trek, not only does he fall in love with a mental health professional in the medical field that has
Mm-hmm.
ESP, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, Riker does get the power of the Q in a weird episode where there's like pig face soldiers and things like that.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
not one of
like,
my favorite episodes at all.
well, but it's like the same theme. Like Riker starts feeling his own power, but he decides on his own to give it up. Where he's like, "Oh yeah, the captain realized that I was going to lose it, so I need to leave it." Whereas Gary doesn't do this. So like he's like a Darkest Timeline Riker, which is interesting to think that there's not a Riker figure in TOS because it's supposed to be Kirk. But this episode positions Kirk as being more of the Picard, even though his performance is more over the top, right? Like he's not as subtle as Patrick Stewart, and Mitchell is supposed to be the like womanizing first
Well,
officer with the strength and things like that. Like I don't know how many of those themes carry over to TNG, but I kind of noticed it a little bit.
well, Kirk is both. He has his moments. From what I can remember, he has his moments where he is more like Picard, and then he has the moments where he's like Riker. And but when
Mm-hmm.
they made TNG and they did the casting and everything, they didn't. They wanted Picard to be that stoic, immovable person that it's almost like nothing really gets to them. And he's not the type of person that, like, all his business that's going on. So
Right.
if he's dating somebody, you don't know. Or you better act
Right.
like you don't know because he's going to be mad that you do know. So,
Right.
yeah, but Riker's like, shoot, I see a woman
I
I
need to
like,
be
I'm going
dropped
to
off
get her. Like,
at Risa, Wrigley's
Wrigley's
Pleasure
Pleasure
Planet,
Planet.
and Deneb 4
Yeah, and
in
then
that order.
I actually think that's Riker's holiday plans in a nutshell. Like
Mm-hmm.
he hits those three plans before he gets back home, and he's just like, dude, like I had such a good time, dude. Like Riser was on point, but Wrigley's, bro, Wrigley's.
Man, when you show up on Wrigley's, they know what you want. They know what you need.
And then I finished it on what's the name of that planet again?
Deneb 4.
We need to have a different name for this planet. And then I finished it with Denim 4. Like, dude, like, Denim 4 made Wrigley's look like Riza. Like,
and compared to both of them, Risa looks like church.
you know? It really, Wrigley's Planet Planet and Denim 4 sounds like two planets that Federation officers should not be on. This sounds like it's on the outskirts of Federation space. And, like, all types of illegal, illicit stuff happens on both of these planets.
Like, if you're there, you're supposed to be investigating something and not investigating.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're investigating to catch a criminal, not just out there investigating. This is not an exploration planet.
Yes.
We know what goes on this planet. We don't need all our lieutenants going there.
All right, Patrick, we're at that time.
Yes.
I think we've said enough for both of us to have a good rating of this episode.
I get what you just said a little bit ago. Every episode that is bad is going to go long. When we get a good episode, we're going to be able to keep that to like a 90 minutes.
Yes, we are.
I'm going to keep that in mind going forward when I make my predictions of how long we're going to talk about an episode.
All right, Patrick. So what do you give the final rating for episode 4, which was the second pilot to TOS? No man has gone before. Where no man has gone before.
Okay, so I started out, and help me with this. I started out with Chateau Picard because I was thinking but the first time I ended this, I started out thinking this has the same problems as the Man Trap, quite frankly, because the only choices are everyone thinks we're just going to off this thing, which I guess if the Salt Monster saw this episode before the Enterprise showed up, they'd be like, oh my God, yeah, those are the only options. I mean,
Gary's getting done in either way. Like, Gary's not coming back to Starfleet with us, all right? Oh, I'm sorry, they didn't say Starfleet. To command with us, all right?
Yeah, exactly. So I was going to give it a Chateau Picard. The more we talked about it, I think it's worse than the Man Trap for all the reasons we said. I want to rehash. I'm dropping it down to let's get out the Romulan ale to get through this episode. There's just too many problems with this episode.
My man.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to stick with I want to give it like an extra point for the role in Star Trek history that it has, but I've already done that for the Man Trap, and the Cage is so much better, and I'm just like, yeah, I think I got to give it a Romulan ale. I feel kind of bad about it, but I give it a Romulan ale.
And that's why I was conflicted with like my rating, because I feel bad because it's history. Like, we would not be watching
history.
Star Trek. We would not have grown up, Patrick, at 9 p.m. at night watching The Next Generation on Fox before going to bed. Like, we wouldn't have had that if this episode had not been created. That's the part
Exactly.
that hurts.
And Lucille Ball fought for
Yes.
this episode to be
Yes.
created,
Yes.
and it worked.
So, like, this is quintessential of how, like, the corporate suits don't think the same way as the audience do.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, it's still a strong possibility that the Man Trap could have been aired and we still could have had Star Trek. That is still a possibility.
That is true.
We don't know for certain that would have occurred. So I can't say that with a definite this would have happened. But like, it still could have been like, this was interesting enough for audiences to want to watch it week after week after week.
Right.
So, but if I'm rating this on pilots, I would have to agree with you. The Man Trap was a better pilot than this one.
The Cage.
I mean, the Cage. I don't know why I said the Man Trap. I'm sorry. The Cage.
Yeah.
The Cage was a better pilot than this one. Only because, like, and I said this during that review, that the Cage was quintessential Star Trek. Like, in how they go about doing everything. Everything is like a hypothesis. This is a possibility that this is something that could work. Okay, let's try this and see if it works. And then after what happens, then they analyze it again, like either it worked or it didn't, and then it's just like, okay, back to the drawing board and whatnot. And like, that's quintessential Star Trek. And it's all about finding the possible solution with the information that you have gathered. And this episode did that the least.
With Spock, the most important character in Star Trek history.
Which is crazy because we're going to give, when we get to the shore leave episode, spoiler alert, we're definitely giving that a clean, like, we need the blood wine. We need the blood wine for this episode.
And the funny thing about that episode is that Spock is uninterested in trying to figure out what's going on with Gary Mitchell this whole episode. He is the only person trying to figure out what's going on.
Yes, he's the only one trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
It's a total 180 from this episode to the time we get to shore leave. And I'm like, what?
What has gone on? And I'm going to be looking at that too from here on out up to the point we get to short leave. Like, what has happened with Spock between this episode and that episode that makes him want to, like, you know what? I need to think about this completely fully and come up with a better understanding of what's going on.
If this episode went on 15 minutes longer, he would have had a rocket-propelled grenade launcher. He would have had an RPG at some point.
Oh, 100%.
Like, this is what I'm going to do.
100%. Yeah,
20 minutes longer, he would have had a tank.
With a do-rag, a black and mild.
With a do-rag and a black and mild. Got me messed up with someone else.
So, with that being said, I agree with you, sir. This is definitely a Robert L. episode. It's not the worst, but, like, it's a step there.
Yeah.
It's a fake. It's surreal.
I always forget about the last part of that clip.
It's that additional part that they clipped it from another episode. But
yep.
But, like, dude, like, this, how are we gonna get through this, Patrick?
Yeah, I don't even know what the next episode is. Let me take a look. Let's see. Shoot, let me try and find Paramount Plus here. We're gonna get through it one episode at a time. That's how it is.
I feel like it's gonna be 2030 by the time we're done, though.
Well, because we're gonna. Never mind. I'm not gonna look it up because it wants to update Paramount Plus on my iPad, and I can't get to it quickly. So I don't know what the fifth episode is. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get back to doing Strange Treks in the new year, so that's gonna
Yes.
add a week to everything. We just haven't had time to research the way we want it, but we got good ideas. Um,
But also at the same time, we got the new series that's coming out in January too.
oh, we're gonna review Starfleet Academy.
I mean, we're gonna have to.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
I
so the TOS rewatch is gonna take a back burner when the Starfleet Academy comes up. So what
okay. We might want to consider
uh-huh.
maybe mixing in other series like other people do. I get why they do it now.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Maybe we want to
Uh,
start the TNG or the DS9 or
that's fair.
some other
That's
rewatches
fair.
as simultaneously with it and come back to this.
Oh, the naked time. That's the next episode.
Oh, we are for sure going to review that
Oh,
for the
one
entertaining
hundred
ideas.
percent. That's one of the good.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I am going to drink alcohol and watch that one on a Friday night.
You
Like,
think I'm not?
yeah, like there's no way I'm watching that one sober because I remember how badass it is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
all right. We're gonna at least review that one, and then maybe we will consider bringing in the other series earlier than we expected, or something like that. Because marching through TOS is would. Oh my gosh, that's a. Oh gosh, I don't know. We haven't even gotten to the episodes that we think are bad.
At least not yet. At least not
No.
yet.
Well, but the
We haven't given out not one. Well, no, you have. You have rated
I've
one
given
of
out one
them
blood wine
blood wine.
because I
I
despise
haven't.
Charlie X.
Yes.
But even with Shore Leave, that episode is so bad that it swung back into being entertaining because you're just like,
Yeah, it's
what's
like
going on?
Sharknado. Shark.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Sharknado. We haven't gotten to the ones that are just bad because they were boring and they stayed boring the whole time and they ended boring. We haven't gotten to one of those yet.
Well, we will. But before we do sign off, I do want to point out our unalive counter. Um,
Okay.
so after this episode, we're at blue shirts 3, red shirts 1, gold yellow shirts 6, and unknown 27. So we have people that get unalive off screen
I was going to say, the
that we
most
have no
dangerous place to
idea.
be
Yeah,
on the Enterprise is off screen.
yeah, off screen.
You want to be on screen.
But
Counterintuitively, you want to be on screen.
it's funny because like the first episode, I really put down like red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt, and I didn't think of doing the unknown one until something happened within the episode. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna have to put that an unknown category.
Which is funny because I don't think I've seen anyone. I've seen someone do a similar count to what you're doing, and I don't think he had an unknown counter, which makes me super curious about
Who
where that's going to go.
who's more unalive, the people off screen or red shirt? The funny thing about this is so there's 30 episodes within the first season, all right, and we're only on
Okay.
episode 4. It would be funny by like episode 15 that the red shirt counter just like starts to tick up so much higher than the other ones.
That would be hilarious.
Because
I
right
don't
now
think
they're the
that's what's going to
lowest.
happen.
Right now they're the lowest. It's just one red shirt that's been offed for what we've seen in
I
the
don't
first
even
4
remember who that
episodes.
was.
I think it was in it was the man trap, it was the one after that with the salt creature.
Oh, yeah, she did get a red shirt, just a random red shirt.
But like
The Man
that was
Trap also gave us Wrigley's Pleasure Planet. So
yes. But that was literally the only one so far. So We'll see.
We will.
I'm gonna keep us up to date on this counter. Kind of makes me want to do that with the other series too. When we when we go to those, be like, which if I was in Star Trek, what shirt would I rather be?
Well, okay. Before we sign off, how are you going to handle the change, right? Because red shirts are security. They're going to switch to gold shirts at some point. So do you just switch to divisions then, or
Yeah, I don't know. Probably that'll probably be what I'll do. No, no, I'll probably just keep it still red shirt, gold shirt, blue shirt.
okay, and just keep it going? Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
unknown.
think at some
You
point
gotta
the
have the
gold
unknown
shirts
category.
pick up. I don't think that's going to change. Most dangerous position off screen.
Off screen. So
When
technically, you want to be a part of the bridge crew.
you will come face to face with the thing that's threatening with you for sure, but you don't want to be standing on the next to the EPS manifold on deck 6 that no
Yeah,
one can see
yeah.
when it explodes, because it doesn't matter who you are or what you were doing when that happened. God, and your first episode of Voyager, when we get to it, is gonna.
Oh wow, yeah. That's gonna take me a minute. I'm about to pause and be like, okay, he was red. All right, he was yep, blue. Yeah, all right, uh-huh. There's other members of the crew that passed away that's not on screen. Well, how many did they say? Tuvok, give me the number.
Yeah, that first episode's a bloodbath to the point
Yeah.
where I'm like, where do all the other people come from to keep this?
Oh no, no. See, with Voyager, I'm gonna one up that one too. I'm not even gonna just put down how many like people are unalive, but I'll also put down how many torpedoes they use. Because remember, in the very first episode, they say they only have so many photon torpedoes.
They have a little known fact. They built a photon torpedo factory on the ship somewhere. They just
Somewhere
didn't mention it.
it had to be off screen. We don't know that this happened, but
we don't
they have a crap ton of photon torpedoes.
we
Than what
don't
they
have
said.
enough replicator rations to make coffee, but we got a photon torpedo factory. So
Tupac. I'm not Tupac. Tuvok. That's hilarious. It's a crazy Freudian slip right there.
well, you've been watching that. You've been watching that documentary.
I have been watching that.
I heard
documentary.
Tupac's in it.
You're not wrong. I have been watching that documentary. But Tuvok, I'm quite positive Tuvok barely used his rations, and that's what he spent his rations on.
It was a photon torpedo.
Yes.
It's gonna make my job easier if I could have a photon torpedo.
Wouldn't that be such a great canon to know, like, oh yeah, they said that they only had this many photon torpedoes, but Tuvok, why I keep saying Tupac? Tuvok.
And that's now all I'm gonna see. What side?
I gotta short clip that in some way. I'm gonna find some way to short clip that. That is.
Janeway's like Tupac, Ray Shields. Take us to red alert. He's all like,
West
I got you,
Side.
girl. Throw up the dub. We're gonna let Commander Tupac talk to the enemy vessel. Y'all ain't nothing but some.
Oh, man. All eyes on me.
Only God can judge me now.
Oh man,
Like,
I don't know what's more funny.
the Kazon vessel.
I don't know what's more funny, Lieutenant Commander Tupac, or the fact that we're saying that Tuvok didn't really use his rations; they used them to create more photon torpedoes.
Tupac's like, I'm gonna drink the chicken broth from the kitchen. I just need 2 photon torpedoes.
I need 2 more, just 2 more. Look, we
Just 2 more.
used 3 in the last battle. I need to replenish those somehow.
Neelix is like, Commander Vulcan, don't you want your favorite dessert? No, I
Nope.
want
Nope.
photon torpedoes.
Nope.
As
Not
many
for a
of them
month.
as we can make.
Was it like 1 month equals one photon torpedo?
Right.
Okay, we're getting ridiculous now. All right, all right, all right. I'm gonna call it. This is it. I'm about to call it.
I'm adding Lieutenant Commander Tupac to the running joke list.
Oh man, I'm gonna be laughing about this the rest of the night.
That's the type of stuff that tomorrow when I'm working on stuff, I'm going to be like, Commander Tupac.
Commander Tupac. Okay, y'all. Thank you for joining us for this recap of the fourth episode, the second pilot for the original series where no man has gone before. Thank you for joining us. Have a great week. Until next time, of course, you know, like how we always end this, we always want to end this with a wonderful quote. And I know we've been going back and forth between certain quotes, but you know, I like the old school one that we started off with because it's very apt for a lot of things that we deal with in this world. So we're going to leave it off with that wonderful quote by Jean-Luc Picard. And of course, that's when it doesn't like do it the way
I
that
was
it
going to say, I
should.
didn't hear it.
Yeah, that's only because, you know, technical difficulties. Here we go.
It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness. That is life.
Unless you're Commander Tupac. Y'all have a good week. Join us next time for the next recap of the original series. Have a great week.
We two of America's most wanted.